Yeah, let's get it over
Let's
with.
do it.
Start the stream in 3, 2, 1.
There we are.
Yeah, OBS is doing its thing. Let's wait a second or two for YouTube. Eric just sent me a little video that his patio is finally cleared for pictures tomorrow.
Nice.
He's been at it since this afternoon. It seems like YouTube is here. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another BeoTalk number 65. A quick update. John will be joining in about half an hour to an hour. Fingers crossed that his kids are willing to go to bed quickly.
He's got to have his makeup done.
Something like that. I hope he has enough makeup remover.
That's right.
So is either of you up for a battle rap song or whatever? Otherwise, I'll mute your mics during the intro.
Nah, I'll just
Go
enjoy
Willie.
it. Yeah, right.
Well, here goes, and I'll mute you guys.
Only has two tufting buttons in each pillow.
And we're back.
Right on. Sweet.
I just thought I'd let you go there.
Let me go for it. That's
So
right.
how were your deck shenanigans, Willie?
Oh man, it was not bad. It definitely was a lot more work than I knew how much work I was getting pregnant with, but she didn't. So we sanded the son of a bastard down, like with a drum sander. That took almost 3.5 hours because it's 2 decks, front and back. And listened to A1 the entire time, more or less. That was basically the only positive side of things.
Looks good.
I get to play my music.
Did you repaint it or didn't you get to that?
Oh, we repainted it the following day, but I think there's pictures in the pile of emails that I sent you that are. So yeah, this was. I remember using this thing when we first moved to Canada, but for some reason back then they didn't believe in the dust bags, so the shit was just shooting all over the place. It was absolutely terrible. So yeah, this took a while to do, but it's done now. She's happy, and her parents are gonna be happy, I guess, and good for everybody. Everybody wins at the end. There's me with the beer. That's probably was 2 weeks ago that I see that picture now on the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes.
Well, it's
That's
circulating
right.
the internet after all.
That's right. We got fucking time change, and internet takes forever to get here. Everything sucks. So yeah, we replaced a couple boards because they were just rotted out, and some got burnt by previous owners. And then this is what the finished product more or less looks like. So it's not bad. There's still a couple things because the people that built the deck, they kind of fucked it up with the stairs. They ran the boards over top of the stairs, so they're springy, which they should have just cut. But I know where the mistake was made in calculations. They didn't account for the actual thickness of the boards once they finished the deck. So everything that they built, the entire frame is flushed with the damn stairs. I'm like, oh. So anyways, yeah, so that's where this was. My entire Sunday basically had gone to. Yeah, this is still when it was before it was sanded down. So yeah, that was why I was missing. So instead of bourbon, I was drinking beer. Jesus Christ, I gotta deal with that. This is It's my coaster sticking to my soda cups because I freeze my glasses. I'm that weird.
Pick up your heavier coasters you have here.
I know. I should definitely get over there one of these days and pick them up. So, anyways, enough about me. What about you guys? What was your weekends like, or weeks? Yeah, it's been a week, I guess.
Well, Henrik just told us he's a proper celebrity now in Denmark.
Nice. You get to sign a pair of tits or something?
Nah, not that crazy though. But I mean, I did give an autograph.
It's that dude's man boobs.
I'm just like, so how crazy is this shit? And how weird is it? It's pretty weird. I mean, I actually went to, it happened a few times now. It happened, we have like this big event in Copenhagen called Distortion. And there was a lot of people that actually came over and said, hey, you that Bang and Olufsen guy. And I was like, yep, I'm here to listen to house music and trash the whole city. But yep, that's me. And that was pretty odd. And I met a lot of people at the Bang & Olufsen event in my garage, where we watched the Bang & Olufsen Beovision Harmony, and it's I'm a fucking Paris Hilton now.
Right on.
You kill your pets every few months because you're sick of them as well.
Oh sure.
In the dryer you go, Matt.
Yeah. That's only for insurance money.
Nice.
Well, you have to fund your hobby some way.
Yep.
Exactly. So you went to see the TV too as well, didn't you, Mikey?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so much better in real life than it is on the B&O pitch.
I have to agree with you on that. I was really not keen about that product. I mean, I was just like, yeah, whatever. Do it. But when you see it in real life, it's totally different. And I mean,
much more majestic,
to use one of Willie's words, I mean, I got wood. It was a really, really good experience to see it. And I mean, the only thing I hate about the product is the alignment, but I mean, they say they will fix it before launch, so let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
The alignment on this one was nigh on perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you take a picture of it?
No, but I mean, it was quite busy. There were quite a lot of people, so...
I think that
I mean, there was always somebody's like hands on it or something, so it was like...
Sure.
I wonder if the fault, more or less, with the alignment is in those goofy rubber grommets. If they're using the same ones that they're using for the Lab 90s or for basically any speaker. Because there is a lot of... I guess there's a lack of tolerances that you can have with how it fits over time, especially I find. So It could be something like that. But I don't know. Yeah, I got questions for you, Christian. That's for damn sure.
No, yeah. I went to this and it wasn't. I mean, it was still a little bit wider at the bottom once fully open, but almost not noticeable. And the motion was smooth and nothing hit, and it didn't look weird in any way, really, other than it is really a screen on top of a B&O stand.
So did they
that
play
weird power cable on the back?
Yeah.
But I mean, if that's all you can, I mean, you won't ever see it since it doesn't rotate. So I guess it's not that bad.
But think about if it has to rotate. It has to be mounted in the middle of the screen somehow. And it's a big wall bracket as well. I mean, I don't understand why you can't get a stand for it that will actually move, but a wall bracket I can see because it's a big TV.
The stand I disagree with. That they I understand that maybe because of the fragility and how frail the actual display panel is that they've opted out from the movement because it's no longer that solid B&O. You know, like on the 85-inch Avant, there is nothing that moves. Like that thing is solid as fucking rock. But this, even with the 65-inch Eclipse, like I see that it was a little bit like it took it shimmied a little bit on the stand when it was moving and orbiting around. Plus, that little stand was smaller than the Avant's floor stand was. But I
also think that's weight, though. out of pure like being so light and moving that it sort of shimmies.
Yeah, but that's exactly it. Where that's what I'm saying that like any other TV before that, they were like, look at the BB7s. They were basically a metal basket that the Biosystem 3 was draped in inside of, and then affixed a nice display on top of it, and hanging even more heavier glass on top of that, or in front of that. So this doesn't have shit really for itself going on as far as the structural rigidity goes, other than whatever that subframe is, where the electronics mount into the back panel, and which is basically a WESA mount anyways, or standard, and that affixes itself under the bracket.
Yeah.
I would like it to rotate at least like 15 degrees each side, which is, it's more than enough to kill the glare from that big of a panel.
Yeah.
Then
but it will come in a 65-inch as well. So it's not only the 77 and the 88. So
yeah, but none of them will rotate.
No.
I guess though the stand is so heavy. I mean, the stand,
So
regardless
what? So
of
is
the
the
size, is
85-inch.
80 kilograms. I mean,
They still could have made it move.
yeah.
It may have looked a little
I
effed
actually
up.
kind of agree with you, Willie, because, I mean, you get the movement back. We got the whole chimney of the Bang and Olufsen product again.
The
but
magic is there.
The
yeah.
magic is back, but why isn't there any movement? I mean, I've been having movement on my TV since I had the CRT event, which is like forever.
25 years
We're
ago.
talking mid-90s, man. This is when that was around.
I had it in 2000 something.
But the movement for the TVs, they were like from the early variants of the MX TVs. They had a turning brackets or turning stands. So
Yeah.
I think that's a big loss. And yes, like I'm not asking for an orbital stand and this thing to like pivot itself and do all this fancy ass shit. But if it just moved on its own as it is, like.
But the problem is that a lot of people are actually using Bang & Olufsen TVs today as a mix between the home center of the living room to watch TV and movies, and then they will actually do the rotation for the dining room or kitchen or whatever, and that is gone now. So now you have to buy a soundbar.
Yeah, and the TV that I had in my mom's house, the BV9 that I left behind, it's a dual-purpose TV. It's between the living room and the kitchen. So
Because you can rotate.
yeah, you just press stand digit 9, and it turns basically full crank to the kitchen, so you can still utilize it.
Yeah.
We
used to use when we had what TV was that? Was that the BeoVision 11 maybe? That was the 14. We had, and the stand was on the wall bracket was on one side, so we could move it out to the kitchen area where we could sit at where we're sitting where I'm sitting right now, so we could have dinner and watch TV at the same time. Right now, I actually mounted on the different side on the Eclipse because we moved the furniture around and keep the wife happy, Yeah,
it's very important. That's why you buy B&O usually.
But we used it as a multi-purpose TV, so we could use it as to watch movies on a Saturday, Sunday night, or we could use it as a TV for dining.
Yeah.
And we cannot do that with the Harmony. I mean, we don't do it with the Eclipse right now, but that purpose of with the Harmony.
Yeah, I miss it. I definitely would miss it. That movement, especially here, because for me the orbital stand makes even more sense because the TV actually moves out of the way when I ask it to.
Exactly.
To the balcony. So. Yeah. But other than that, I do like the rotating stand no matter what. Like that's as far as my memory goes, that was one of the best utilities for the B&O TVs. That yes, it was magic, but all of a sudden, the TV looks. Like, why would you have the TV put like that against the wall? Nobody watches it like that. But then you turn it on and it moves towards where it's supposed to be at.
This thing is massive, though. It's 77 inches.
As an example, take John as an example of the Bang & Olufsen store in Manchester. He has a built-in gateway that actually makes his stand of a TV in the middle of the showroom move around each 15 minutes. Just to show people, this is Bang & Olufsen. Let me show you what you can do. And I mean, yeah, you could do it with the Peacock thing, but I just think it loses some kind of Bang and Olufsen feel about it when you can't do that, because that is what everybody wants to see. That is the movement of the TV coming out from the wall. And everybody has been trying to do a similar thing. Vocals try to do the similar thing, and the bracket will like squeak like a, I don't know, pig. And it's just silent, and it's nice, and nobody does this.
My question would be then also, is it done more or less because the market that is targeted for this right now hasn't really grown up around the Bang & Olufsen product to that extent?
I think it's
they
partially
have no
that,
idea.
and they hope they sell probably to sell 77-inch and up. And then
Yeah, but my opinion of it that they just had no idea that, just like the curtains gotten deleted for the new millennial type of people, they don't really give a fuck about the curtains because they've never grown up around it, right?
I still
For people
miss
like
them.
myself that I've grown up around the curtains, and you have that, call it a psychological closure more or less to the show or TV, like when you're done watching it, I still appreciate that to this day, That's why I kept the Avant instead of the Eclipse. One of the reasons, more or less. But an IR.
I just can't understand why you can't put it back in. I mean, I have a Samsung TV at work, which I use for testing our app. And when I turn that off, it will close down like this instead of this.
yeah,
So I mean, and that's a Samsung TV. So
you should be able to do it in software, one would think.
it's just a software
course.
update. And I mean, if you put in the software on the new LG C9 panels, that you will be able to use a Beo Remote 1 with the soundbar, and they actually integrate the new apps from Bang & Olufsen in the LG panels. Why don't they just implement the fucking curtains into the panel?
Or into the app, the B&O app that
It
you use to
says
control
Bang
it.
& Olufsen. When I turn on the TV, it says Bang & Olufsen on my Eclipse.
It doesn't, though, on the Harmony.
It will.
Well, wait, does it? I'm thinking now. I have to look through my picture.
No. It doesn't. It just started up with the picture, and then
Yeah.
I think it will say Bang & Olufsen.
Yeah.
Funny if they didn't spell it right.
Yeah, with an A, Olofsen.
It's some bullshit.
One
Switch
thing
the
that
S
was
and F.
funny, though, is that this prototype, this crate was so big, it caused a problem for the dealers that had the event. Because they have Mercedes Sprinter vans, which are enormous. You can stand straight up in those things. But the crate didn't fit in those in the width-wise.
No.
Get
they-
out, really? Wow.
So they had to rent a moving truck to put this thing in.
Did you see the crate?
Yeah, it's enormous.
It's crazy. I mean, you can
Well,
park
I've
a
seen
car
John
in there.
pushing it off, on the Instagram. Like, that thing that's more or less like wouldn't you say it was bigger than the 103?
No.
Oh yeah,
Well,
it was. Yes,
The crate?
the 103. Yeah. It's
For
bigger.
103, yeah.
Yeah, the crate.
Yeah, itself.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was bigger than the boxing for the BeoVision 4103 for sure.
I think when I was doing an event on the 103, that's like, I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I was doing a commercial on it for a dealer here in Copenhagen, and that box wasn't that big as the crate for the Harmony. I think the crate for the Harmony is actually bigger, but I mean, it also have to travel the whole fucking world without getting any scratches. So
Yeah, and we all know how B&O suffers with shipping, at least for North American market, for God's sakes.
It's the same here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when I got my 50s, they were supposed to arrive like 2 weeks after ordering, and that turned into 3.5 weeks because the people they sent it with had gone out of business in the meantime.
Nice.
So like a shipment of something like 15 pair of them were stuck in some warehouse somewhere, and then the executors had to come there and say which product was whose.
Yeah, we know, Christian, the packaging will be smaller for those. I think it's going to be more or less like few boxes instead of just one
It'll
big
be two
one.
boxes. I mean, one small box, which is the speaker basically and the stand, and then a massive flat box, which is the screen.
TV, and then you're going to have another one with grills.
Yeah.
That's how I see it go.
And then
It's
you
gonna
will
be
have
just
one
like the
box that
Eclipse.
is this big with the little penguin remote for the LG TV, with the carving and everything will be smooth
Service remote.
inside. Yeah, everything will
Service-
be nice inside, and you'll take that little penguin out and.
Yeah, jolly. If they can make that disappear, I mean, one thing I don't know. It's very nitpicky, but apparently the volume bar is going to stay red, like the standard LG.
No, what?
Yeah,
That's some bullshit.
because I asked about it and nobody knew. They basically said I haven't heard about that being changed of color, like it is on the Eclipse, where the volume up and down is blue.
The volume up and down on the Eclipse is
It's
on
blue.
the right side.
Yeah, and blue.
Yeah, and it was the same on the Harmony that I saw.
Oh, the Harmony I saw was red.
Oh, the Harmony I saw was the exact same as the Eclipse. And I have a picture of it. I can find it if you want to see it.
Weird that there's this difference in prototypes then, because then you must have had a different prototype.
I think it's in my video somewhere, because there was, when they turn it on, they actually kept on turning it down. When, the movement was coming up and they were doing the frame, then they were turning the volume down, and there you can see it's in my video somewhere. I'm pretty sure of it.
Yeah. Odd, because the one I saw was red.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I think it will be the same as the Eclipse. Maybe Christian can shine some light on that.
I hope
leak
so.
some shit out. You can leak something out.
Just leak it.
You can email it to me, and then it won't be from you. It'll be from someone. This little birdie.
Little tweeter.
I mean, the Harmony I saw was the exact same sound meter as on the Eclipse.
Yeah, that's why because I
Maybe
specifically asked about it.
Maybe you can choose. You can get the white sound meter, and then the alignment will be off, or you can get the alignment right, and you'll get the red sound meter.
Oh no!
Christian is saying he
It might
honestly
be
can't
pink.
remember, but logically thinking he'd think it might be pink or red or whatever it comes closest to.
Do you want me to find it?
The breast cancer color.
I'll find.
Well, it's the standard
worry.
LG color, and it's kind of really in your face, that color, for changing volume.
Yeah.
The blue is a lot nicer. I mean, I have a picture of it somewhere, but I haven't uploaded it to my computer yet, so it's kind of annoying to start digging through my phone and then sort of getting it on the screen.
I actually just had it. Fuck.
Yeah. Poser.
Well, since we're gonna look now, get down.
Just
Anyways,
you guys talk
I
about.
guarantee you there's not going to be any curtains on it. That's one thing that I can tell you.
Mike, I have to get back to you. It was red.
Yeah, I found it on my phone.
Yeah, I have it here. It's fucking red. I was pretty sure. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I don't mind the red, quite honestly.
It
It's a
should be
good
red.
throwback to like the BB732s and while everything else was white.
Well, the reason I guess I'm nitpicky about it is because the more you can sort of differentiate from the standard LG, the better, in my opinion.
I
Yeah.
think they should retain the menu design language from the old B&O TVs like the Avant was, in my opinion, where it's simple fucking text, none of these crazy animations and whatever hopping around, and make it a little more interesting, I guess. But I like that menu. It's not that it's hard for me to navigate blind with the Eclipse menu, but there's a little more learning curve to that, or remembering, than the continuity from the Biosystem 3 to the Avants or Biosystem 4 platforms, where you can basically walk people through without any issues. Oh, I did a service call. This is fucking great. I did a service call in Invermere, which is about 3.5 hour drive from here.
Yeah.
As per usual Canadian distances. The gentleman brought his Biosystem 3 to me because it's not working and blah, blah, blah. So I tested it here. Everything works, of course. So what happened was, when he was fucking around, he yanked on the ML cable, somehow separated the green line wire out of all the rest of them in there, and it was in the wall, inside the wall spliced, right? So a lot of laughs, and there's no way, right? Like there was no way that I could have talked him over the phone, and plus he connected everything wrong. So I drove out 3.5 hours. It took me 2.5 hours to not to even find where the problem was, but just to troubleshoot everything because it's a large house. Did it all, spliced one fucking cable, and then I went home. Another 3.5.
Wait,
drive.
you charge for driving time, right?
Well, yeah, it's not a cheap service call to drive out, especially now that I don't really do it full time, but it's between him picking me out of the crowd or getting the guys from Vancouver, which doesn't really have an install team, and nor do they even have a clue how his house is built.
Probably not.
Plus that house, I think the guy's cursed, quite honestly, because he was building his first house, and right after the framing was done and I think electrical was pulled, he got it struck by lightning. It burned down to the fucking ground. Rebuilt it, and then he built this house, the summer home that I went to look at or service. And was it 2012, 13 maybe? He got whacked by the fire pit by another lightning strike, and that traveled through the fucking link eye and the speakers that he had in the fire pit all the way inside and blew his entire mastering system out.
Wow.
Everything. 5 passive kits, 2 active kits, Biosystem 3, and even the TV, because it went up the fucking monitor and IR panel, and it just
from a lightning?
A lightning strike, like adjacent to his house, not even into his house.
That's properly shielded wiring, then.
There was no saving it though, because if it travels through that, if it traveled through the conduit, not even through the conduit, because conduit I think it's plastic. But it traveled through and it's more or less, I'm sure, loaded with water, as every conduit underground really gets. So it just it fried the cables and everything in it. We had to replace all that shit. And to this day, the link eye doesn't work for the fire pit. But yeah, man, that was terrible.
I have a friend, he got a lightning as well, and he lost his Beolab 5s, his Beovision 12, his iMac, his Beosound 5. In one lightning.
Yeah, dude, it's not pretty. No matter how and I've been through the factory. I know how extensively they test against static discharge and all that. But there are limitations.
Yeah,
there are limitations when it's too fucking close to your house, dude, and it just doesn't get dispersed and grounded immediately, and it finds a way in. Because it's a master link system, that kills everything, because that one cable, that one spinal cord goes to every single piece.
Yeah. By the way, Henrik, what do you think of the new Webos? Because I thought it looked lovely compared to what is on the Eclipse. Or didn't you see it?
I did see it. It is 4.0, as I remember.
Yeah, it's much smaller.
Yeah, we're using 3.5. I mean... Do you want my honest opinion?
Sure, go for
it.
I don't give a
I wanted a dishonest one. I want a dishonest opinion.
The dishonest one, it's amazing. It's a total brand new thing. It's like
B&O made it themselves.
From a Beolab 18 to a Beolab 90. It's like crazy. It's like whatever. I don't give a shit. I don't use the Webos at all. I don't have TV plugged into my Eclipse. I don't use Netflix on the Eclipse. I don't use YouTube on the Eclipse. I don't use any apps on the Eclipse. I use one button, and that's this special My button, and that turns on my Apple TV, and I do everything from my Apple.
How long did you fucking wait for that to work? Oh,
I didn't wait. It worked when it came.
Oh, see what happens, Mikey, when you're an early adopter and shit? I had an Eclipse when the gateway was not even a word that it would recognize.
Well, the Eclipse and the gateway...
I had the Eclipse at that point as well.
The Eclipse and the gateway doesn't work that well anyways, so...
I had an Eclipse... Well, we both had an Eclipse when the Eclipse basically didn't know what the remote was doing. As in the My buttons didn't work and...
Not me.
Oh yeah, I had an Eclipse when you had to jumpstart the fucker. When you go and press the little button about below the soundbar to enable the Bluetooth module again, because that went to sleep. So you can actually turn the fucking thing on. It was great. Why would you not pay $25,000 for doing that?
Because you can live in Denmark and pay 35,000.
There you go. Son of a bastard. I'd be pissed. Oh, I was pissed. But you know what, though? I accept the what it is, because I've been around B&O longer than most people, I guess, that buy shit from me. But in the same token, the client base that I have here, they've been around it for long enough to know that that's little horror shit on a stick.
I mean, I got into the Eclipse when everything just worked. But let's have in mind, I came from BeoVision 14.
Yeah, you had your own issues.
I had my own issues. I was getting through a divorce with my TV, a TV that was about moving out, a TV that was about to move over the balcony.
And then you had a poltergeist in your app.
and it's gone. Christian, thank you so freaking much. My BeoVision 14 is an end of an era. It's gone. And I don't want it back in my...
Speaking of end-of-the-era products, here's an interesting finding that I had. There was an update, obviously, for the BeoSound Moment that kind of rendered that thing useless for multi-room or BeoLink activity, per se, where it would work perfect tied in with my Avant, but as soon as I joined like the shape in the bedroom or one of the BeoSounds in the bathrooms or the TV it would just stop. It would just cut the main TV out or main room out. The 90s would stop playback. They would be on, but everything else would play. So I reverted the software on the service tool back to whatever the latest one is available on the service tool, which I guess is a version or something behind. And yesterday I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to update the sucker again. Mm-hmm. So I've updated my Moment. I took a picture of what the software version was versus what it updated to. Identical numbers. So I don't know what it did, but it did something. Because right now I can finally listen to Deezer FLAC, like hi-fi. There you go. See, even the cats agree with that shit. It is fucking amazing what sound that does, what it has. Like the difference is unbelievable from the Deezer FLAC or the Deezer hi-fi account towards or versus the regular one that I've listened to.
Have you tried the Tidal Master?
I've tried Tidal, but the only way that, I don't know, when I've heard that this was working properly was through the actual computer only and an HDMI output to get the proper streaming bandwidth.
Just get a
The Tidal Hi-Fi works through an Apple TV. The Tidal Master only works through a computer. That's correct.
Yeah, because I had the Tidal, and quite honestly, I didn't really see that much use in it.
It's a fucking stupid app.
It's a stupid app. Like and you know what? I'd rather you pay $20 a month to Deezer and utilize that in a hi-fi or high fidelity or FLAC files that I'm listening to now. It's a fucking audible difference, man. Even on the shape.
So Willie, what kind of music service provider do you use for the Google Home?
I don't use anything for Google Home. My Google Home doesn't do shit for music. I don't Chromecast. I use BeoLink environment solely. So for me, when I tell the machine to turn on the radio, then it's going through the IFTTT and it macros out to tune into the, and so even if I tell the thing to turn on the Apple TV, it runs a specific set of macros, and one of them is it runs a specific macro to turn on the television, but it also turns off the bar light where I'm sitting right now, so I don't have it glare off my screen.
My wife is twerking in the kitchen. I can see it right there.
Nice.
And that's why I'm laughing. Okay, so the thing is, I'm using, I used to have a Deezer Hi-Fi, and now I got a Tidal Hi-Fi Master or something, whatever. And I really would like to go back to Deezer because I also have a Google Play YouTube Music account, and that is only for the Google Home. So I can say I want to listen to Robbie Williams, whatever, and it will play it. So I heard that it works with Spotify. I do not want to go back to Spotify because Bang and Olufsen moved me from Spotify to Deezer at one point.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm at Deezer at.
Yeah. So now and then I got a core, and now they want me from Deezer to Spotify again, and that's not gonna fuck. So
Make
I
up your
would go back to
mind.
Deezer when yeah, exactly. I'll go back. I'll stick with Deezer when the Google will actually work with it on the music service. Because Deezer is a fucking good app and it just works and it's nice to navigate in. I mean, Tidal, I'll get a headache every time and I need like medicine and stuff to get it to work.
Yeah, the only time I listened to Tidal was actually through the computer at the time. And it was, mouse operated, so I found it very cumbersome. But,
Yep.
it was the 90s were still fresh in my house, and I just like, fuck, like I want to listen to everything because it's, and quite honestly, now that the Deezer Hi-Fi started working on the moment, I'm really keen on rediscovering my music. Like last few days that this happened, I basically spent entire yesterday afternoon listening to the 90s. I went down the fucking playlist and down the artists and down. I've spent a long time listening yesterday. I was actually amazed of how good it sounds in the FLAC files then versus the regular non-hi-fi. Like definitely worth the $10 a month upgrade. Yeah. I was shocked. Like I said, I was shocked. Especially on the high end, the trebles, like the fucking definition of that is just like they're just crystal clear.
Well,
I've
tried to take like a normal Deezer file or a normal Tidal file, and then I've tried the Tidal Hi-Fi and the Tidal Master into my Logic, which is an audio program on a Mac. And normally on normal tracks, you'll get from 0 hertz to maybe 16,000 hertz. And then you go to the hi-fi and you get up to maybe 20,000. And then we're about to where you actually can't hear it. But the information is still there on the master edition.
You perceive it differently in your brain, though. Like it's still there.
I can't hear 26,000 hertz. But when it's all put together, I can hear the difference. I just took a test the other day, actually, on the Beoplay 50s, where you
can hear up to 26,000 hertz?
No, I said I can't hear it.
No, I'm like, motherfuck, man, that's like 10K more than I can right now.
But I can hear around 20. My hearing is really, special. And I did it on the 50s, and I could pinpoint every single one of the tracks. I had 10 tracks, and I didn't know what was coming into me, and I could tell exactly if it was a normal Spotify streaming or it was a hi-fi or what it was. Just took the test. 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
you guys don't believe
tell
me.
The difference.
I do.
I
I just don't believe in paying for subscriptions like that. When I pay for music, I'd rather own it.
Well,
but you also don't like Google machine in the house, man. You're a different fucking breed.
That ship has sailed, Mikey.
Well, I guess.
Yeah, like where are you gonna go to Her Majesty's Voice and buy a fucking CD? That doesn't happen anymore. Yeah, they still have them, but you know what? There's more vinyl now than there's CDs. I'm sick of that shit. I'm done with vinyl. I'm not even done with it. I haven't even begun to be done with it. Like,
well, you just don't fit in with the brand anymore. I mean, we're all hipsters over here.
Fuck, man. Well, then B&O should make a goddamn turntable then.
How many of you guys that is actually listening to this podcast, how many of you is streaming? If you're streaming, just write streaming. If you use LPs, write LP. If you use CD, write CD. Let's see what people are actually using. Come on, guys. I'm sorry.
Digital files is good as well if you have a NAS or something.
I'm streaming too.
I mean, I basically use a NAS myself. Like, it's just...
Yeah. 50-50.
Sandeep.
Man.
I would actually like to go... I mean, there is something special about... It's the same with when you go to the Netflix and you just push in a movie, let's see it. Or you actually take the Blu-ray, put it into the disc, press play. It's the same with
drawer goes in.
Oh, come on. It's the same. I used to have laser discs.
You know what? If I want, like, honestly, if I wanted to, like, the snap, crackle, and pop of the vinyl, I'd just listen to the 90s by a fucking wood-burning fireplace, all right? And that's it. Then I'll have the crackling and popping, and then I can still listen to my Deezer.
But I mean, right now we're most of the people here. It's only us and Christian and Sandeep. But most of us is actually streaming. Oh, Simon, streaming and vinyl just for fun. Yeah, exactly, Simon. And that's the thing that I want to pinpoint here. There is something special because I actually thought about buying a record, like a vinyl player, which can stream Bluetooth to the clips. But taking that vinyl on the vinyl player and...
There's a process to it, yeah, and reading the album art and all that shit. I totally get it.
And that is a special thing. And that will make you actually sit down and listen to the music compared to the streaming where you just have your fucking remote and next, no, next, yes.
The only sort of streaming I do is free, and that's when I don't care because it's like ambient music. But when I sit and properly listen to music, that's the files I own, and those are FLAC files and high-res files. I mean, it's just like radio. Radio is on sometimes. But you don't really care how great the radio quality is as long as there's no real static. It's fine.
But we have a lot of people here in the chat that will actually do the streaming. Streaming. Yeah, Sandeep, Blu-rays is much better than streaming movies on Netflix. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, but it's just where you buy them and... Like,
yeah, it's a pain in the fucking
Amazon,
ass.
Everything.
Well,
at least here anyway, everything comes to your doorstep.
Put it this way, like
it's exactly what Christian says. Convenience.
It's convenience, but for me, what also is okay. Other than like fucking Deepwater Horizon, how many times would I watch a movie? Right, that's another thing. Like, do I really want to spend $40-50 on a damn Blu-ray disc? Right, then I'm gonna watch once, maybe twice. And have a DVD copy to throw it in my fucking Audi because I enabled, video while movement or in motion so I can watch this shit driving. Like, I don't have...
Look at me. I have an Audi. I can drive while I'm watching TV.
You know what? That was a very expensive unlock. So, and I did it just so I can watch, like, Sade and music videos. Not even music videos, the concerts and stuff, because it does sound really good in the car. It's got a full surround engine in it, so...
I have a question, Mikey.
Yeah, go for it.
So, how long time before John comes on? Approximately?
15 or so.
We talk about the soundbar before he gets in.
I think we should, because he can't say shit about it anyway.
When he actually arrives, we can't really talk more.
We're gonna be over it.
And for all the people that think, for some reason, like John tells me everything, I actually think I told him about the soundbar.
Yeah.
And this was months ago now.
John doesn't know shit.
You hear that, John?
So should we talk about it?
Yes. Well, I've showed you pictures. It looks fucking great, I feel.
I like it.
I mean,
I totally agree. I got some pictures from you, Mikey, and I got some pictures from another, what do you call it, undisclosed something. And... I mean, it looks fucking amazing.
You guys want to see it? Psych. I can't show you.
Well, we all like Bang and Olufsen too much to give the Chinese copycats the chance to just copy-paste it before it's even launched.
No, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, that's the big issue.
Christian, we like you having a job over there too much, so be thankful.
Yeah. But I mean, I've seen some pictures of it, and I see some drawings and some real life thing, and I mean, it gets to a point where you can pair it with maybe a LG TV from your local electronics store, and you don't have to put a 77-inch. You might be able to put a 55-inch TV with it, or less. And I mean, there's still a lot of things that people hasn't talked much about, which is Does it have power link? Does it have visor? Does it have true image? Does it have?
From what I was told by several sources now, it's a sort of standalone product, which I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. As in, it won't have power link for now, but there's no reason to think they may make a 1.2 or 1.5 version and upgrade it or something like that. But I think it's for now, it's a test case to see how it goes, because also from what I've heard is that it's going to be price-wise fairly competitive and sound amazing, even compared to whatever else is in that price range and or above.
I think the price range will be as a Sonos Playbar and the sub as one.
Something like that. Yeah, that's more or less what I heard as well, which I think is more than reasonable, though.
I think Freeland's asking if there's going to be a Dolby Atmos. And
No.
I think there was think there was something that fired into the ceiling, wasn't it?
I don't think so. And I think it will have Bluetooth, and I think it will have AirPlay.
Yeah, and network link.
And network link.
But it won't be
I hope they don't take away the network link.
Center channel Biosystem 5
and
solution.
I think it will have a analog input as well.
Yes, because some TVs just don't support that yet.
Yeah, but it will be not as I don't think it will be a soundbar as that. It will be a soundbar that will work with HDMI, ARC, so you can pair it with the remote from Bang and Olufsen, the Beo Remote 1, and it will only be an app on the LG Webos. I think it will start on the C9 panels. So the soundbar will actually only work with the Beo Remote 1 on the C9 panels. But of course you can use it with everything else if you want to, but then you won't have the benefit of the Beo Remote 1. And
do we know how many HDMI inputs?
Come on.
Not 100% sure, but I think it's one or two for HDMI pass-through. But like if you go, let's say if you take the use case of LG nowadays, there's so many CEC ports, and your LG TV already natively supports Apple TV and that sort of stuff, that you don't need to put that in the B&O sound bit separately.
I think that it will only have HDMI ARC from the TV to the soundbar, and that's why you can use the Beo Remote on the LG, but it has to be a C9 panel where you have the app
C10.
for the Bang & Olufsen. Come again?
Or C10.
Oh, yeah, whatever. It says that I heard that it will come from the C9 panel and forward. So every new panel will work with this soundbar. I don't know if it will work on the C7, as the C7 is in the Eclipse. But I mean, why not? Why not get it to work with Webos 3.5?
Because it's B&O, man.
Because, no, I think that's a LG thing. LG stops backwardsly making their screens compatible after like 2 years. Mm-hmm. Like, the LG C and B6 are still great TVs, but they don't get any software updates. They haven't gotten one for like a year and a half.
Christian, I don't have any information about this from SBI as well. It's not from those guys. Just
no.
Pinpoint. Don't point fingers.
Especially if you're not sure where it comes from.
No, it's not from those guys.
I told them. Told everybody.
I'm actually quite excited for it.
Yeah, I am too, and I'm like, I've had this question up on my channel like a dozen times, and I still think that it's the right move, and I think it's a great way to do it. And I mean, it could be just a shape as a soundbar with an HDMI input.
Sort of. Yeah. No, I mean, from what I've seen, it and looks good, and it is B&O. It looks very B&O. It doesn't look generic soundbar-y to me.
No.
I mean, it's and the thing is, I've been thinking for a while now, like, I would like a TV in my bedroom. But since this soundbar thing has come to light, I've actually been thinking, I might as well buy an LG panel there instead of put a BV11 or something like that in my bedroom. And that's how good this soundbar looks to me.
Oh, I would rather buy a BV11.
I was gonna say too.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
Maybe.
I have BV11 in my bedroom, and it's the greatest fucking TV in the world.
It is.
But I don't really have any room for additional speakers, and I think this soundbar will definitely sound better than the BV11.
But do you think the soundbar will be as thin as the BV11?
Slightly thick. I think it's about like that thick or so. Like,
Yep,
let's say 3.5 inches or so, 3 inches.
Yeah, and then you put the TV up on the wall, and the TV is like half a centimeter.
Yeah.
Also, from what I've heard, depending on how you take it, you can either lay it flat or put it up on the wall. It's up to you. So, depending on how you see that, you will have upward firing drivers.
Yeah, but I mean, it would be so great if they would actually go with the Dolby Atmos or the DTS:X system, the object-based systems. But I mean,
Licensing.
they don't want to pay the licensing. Exactly, Willie. Fucking cheap asses.
I still wonder how that works.
It's a lot of money.
Not really.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, I guess it's already LG pays for it too in their TVs.
Yeah, I mean the LG screen already. So it's just a sound pass through. And if you look at what was it, the HDMI 2.1 licensing, that was literally 5 cents to put the sticker on your product.
If the TV delivers a bit stream directly to the soundbar, then the soundbar needs the license for the Dolby Atmos. Or else it will be the same as today.
Yeah. Well, I hope I don't know, let's say it is, I don't know, $1 or €1 or whatever. I'll happily pay them $5 for it.
Oh, yeah.
On a TV that's 20,000, yeah.
Or even on a soundbar.
Yeah.
That washes away.
Let's say that
fast.
soundbar is, I don't know, $2,500 or so. Let's say something like that. I'd rather have the Atmos than it being, and it being slightly more, like €50 more or something, than not have it.
I totally agree. I mean, as we discussed before, I'd rather have a Atmos 5.1 system because everything is object-based than a discrete channel. It's much more vibrant. It sounds better.
John is in the chat. Good thing you're in the chat because you can't talk about this stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for this. I'll add you in a mo, John, once we're done with this.
I'm really excited for this product, and I mean it gets back to the start with the Beoplay production.
Yeah.
Let's get people into this Bang and Olufsen world that maybe don't want to spend so much on a television or speakers or whatever, but they want something that looks good, that works good, and they just want the nice remote. They just want the nice remote, and I mean it's a good step up. I mean, I went out to set up a system for my brother with he's brand new. He has Samsung TV and whatever. And I set up a Essence Mark II with the Beolab 6000s on it, and he uses it with the AirPlay from his Apple TV, and everything is great. But for him, he can't pay the price for an Eclipse, and he can't maybe not pay the price for a BeoVision 11 55-inch. But maybe he can pay for a soundbar from Bang & Olufsen, where he actually gets the remote that works on his
but that brings it back to the idea of the Beolab 14s, 4.1 and 5.1s, right?
This is actually just a relaunch, and it's maybe the right relaunch instead of making a 5.1 system that
you have to wire anyways to have something that is clean, yeah.
Exactly.
As long as
Exactly.
All right, we're done with this. Let's get
one
John
or
on
two
here.
wires,
Fuck.
it's not too bad.
Yeah.
In the worst case scenario.
I talked with the guys at Bang and Olufsen as well, and we won't be showing the pictures on my channel as well. We need to, otherwise we don't have a product, and otherwise Bang and Olufsen don't have a business if the Chinese will get into
Yeah, we're not
this.
gonna let that happen.
No.
I mean, they're not doing so stellar anyway, and I'm not going to contribute to them losing more money.
No.
Drill another hole in the boat.
Yeah, especially in iffy markets like China, where it's hard to distinguish real from fake. I mean, let's not pile on like that. That doesn't do anybody any good. Because next time we're bitching like they don't have R&D money. Why? Because we help them not make less money.
Exactly, and that's the
Stupid
thing
spiral.
that people in the chat needs to know, that we're only.
I mean,
we're
if
not
it's
showing-
out, it's out, and then
Yeah.
it's fine. But if we're not going to be the ones to break it like that verbally,
Exactly.
no problem.
We're
Visually,
we're only here to talk about the products. We talk bad, we talk good things, but we won't help the fucking Chinese.
no.
Nope. Fuck you, Huawei.
It's gonna be called the BeoSound P30 Lite.
P30, fuck. The Circle of Fives. I've heard about that, but I think that was more or less some sort of a design thing by that German vegan, whatever the fuck the dude was. But I don't think that's gonna be a real thing there, Marco. I've seen it on YouTube's.
Oh yeah, that silly thing that they launched. Yeah.
Oh fuck, I'm out.
Nice. He's gonna have his beard now.
John with tape.
John's taped up. Nice. I like it. Oh shit. There we go. Yeah, he's not saying anything now.
Bloody hell.
You just got a little hole for a straw so you can have some bourbon.
How's it going, my dudes?
Not bad. It'd be funny if your beard came off with that tape. That would have been fucking terrible.
I missed you last week.
Oh yeah, I was having a great old time.
My week wasn't the same. Not seeing your cheery Canadian face at the weekend.
I make it happen for a lot of people, I guess. Right on. So what's new? Oh, you dick. Look at that. Oh. I'm having a bourbon. What are you drinking, Mikey?
Coffee.
Just water.
Well, somebody
You got
has
water
to
there?
keep some sort of direction here.
Look at that
Oh,
pour. Ooh. Good work, Henrik.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
The Bio Brew is pouring. Nice.
So
What are you, John?
Just another work week of busyness and boss man Ian and Jenny and not much YouTube and it's quoting for lots of cinemas and it's been all right.
Have you been
Busy
watching
week.
some movies?
Sorry, Henrik.
Have you been watching some movies?
No. Can I lie? I watched Goodfellas the other night.
nice.
I was flicking through Netflix. I thought
Great
I've not
movie.
seen that in so long, and it's such a good movie. So
Yeah, that's a
I'll
good flick.
just watch the beginning. I'll just watch the beginning because I like this movie, and then I ended up watching the whole thing and loved every minute of it.
I started watching
I just
Stranger
watched the
Things.
movie today. It was called Captain Marvel,
Oh no.
and I mean that's 1 hour and 40 minutes. I will never get back.
I was
Really,
gonna say that.
The sound was supreme. It was really good, but man, that was a bad movie.
I've had a couple movies that I watched and I don't even care to remember the titles now. That the sound on the 90s were just, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna watch this piece of shit all the way till the end because it just sounds so good. But the context, it's the storyline is less than a porn worthy. Like it was just not fuck. But Yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting that that ties into something. I had a customer in this week, and he came in and he was looking for a cinema screen, and he was obsessed with picture quality and 4K and all this sort of thing. And he was just on this mission to get the perfect picture. So I said, "Yeah, come and have a look at what we've got." Sat him in the demo room and did the usual demo script in the cinema room with all the acoustic and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And afterwards, he's just sat there and he says, "Do you know what? I've spent all this time looking for the perfect picture, but had no idea the difference that the sound makes." He says, when you've got sound like that, you get so much more immersed in the movie that you almost forget the picture. I mean, the picture is very good. It's 4K, but he didn't realise the difference you were missing from having just top quality sound.
Wait, so you're telling me to get
detail there
90s instead of harmony?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Both. Get both.
Get the 90s first.
The sound is.
I need a long-term tester in that case of the either.
I had another comment on YouTube on the harmony. I've got the usual comment, even though I address the comments at the end and say some people won't get it. It's fine. It's not for everybody.
Even a bow screen is better.
Yeah, exactly. You get the one. I even said about the moving parts on the harmony, and people are going to say it's going to break and all that sort of stuff. And I address all that. Still get the comments. Oh, it's just for the sake of it, and it's only going to break. Then you're left with an expensive door stop and all that sort of stuff. And one guy said on the comments that because I said sound is more than half the picture, and he says no, that's absolute rubbish. Sound isn't half the picture. Picture is everything. I'm like,
yeah, and he's watching his shows on a fucking phone. That's the person that is,
correct
through the like Bose headphones.
Yeah, can't win.
Or the skull candy. Fuck. There you go.
Jesus.
Those were so good. Like, they used to make a backpack that played music too. Fucking hell. Oh, God.
Wait,
yeah,
so, but I wonder if this person ever goes to like an IMAX or something and then goes, well, it's not clear enough because I'm too far away.
But that's the thing, isn't it? The internet, especially comments. I mean, most of my comments, I'm quite lucky. Most of my comments on the videos are really nice. And they're from people who watch all the time, and they're just really nice people. But you do get as it's getting bigger and bigger.
The occasional dickhead strolls by.
Yes, the occasional idiot come through. And it's fine, whatever. Not everybody gets Bang and Olufsen. But what I don't get is why people watch it. And I had one guy I had to ban because he was going through every single video, leaving the same comments. I can't remember his name. It's some vegan something. I can't remember.
It was really.
That was my second profile. I was.
It's Bang and Olufsen and all this sort of stuff.
Awfulsen.
Bang and Olufsen, he called it. But then when you looked at the Bang and Olufsen official videos, he also commented on all those as well with the same comments. And it's like, dude, there's
it's
so
probably
much YouTube. Watch something. Why are you watching stuff on? I don't go on Bose videos and then say how awful Bose is. I
probably went to a dealer that told him to go fuck himself after a fourth time trying to return his A8. That's what that was.
I had one of these guys as well, and I mean, it's fine if you don't like me as a person, that's fine. But then just look another way. I mean, he was like a real dickhead on a forum, and I was just like, fuck you. Just everything he said, it was either stupid or
personal attack.
It was like just looking for a discussion.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, I don't think that you actually bring anything to the table, so please just stop. Yeah. And he just kept on going. So at the end, I got him out of there.
It's a very Danish way to ask. We would be like, "Hey, fuck you, buddy."
then he actually got on my channel as well, and he started doing the same thing. So I was just like, I really don't want to get into this, so I just blocked him, just without talking to him, because I didn't want to get into the discussion again. Then he freaking wrote me on Messenger on Facebook.
Oh my God.
Do you want me to read up what he actually wrote?
Sure,
Yes.
go for it.
I thought it was so much fun, so I had to keep it.
I don't get the mentality of you're watching something with somebody you don't like on a subject that you hate, and you're spending your time on this earth watching it. Go watch something that you do like and leave that to everybody else who does like it. It's just I don't get it.
He said that the people who use money on Bang and Olufsen is people that know nothing about. He's hi-fi dude. Is nothing about hi-fi. They don't know anything about hi-fi.
Yeah, PHIL.
Exactly. And it's no longer than that. It is really bad that you're snobbing. Snobbing, is that?
Yeah, snobbish.
Yeah,
No.
snobbing. It's really bad that you have that, because there is so much more cooler stuff in the hi-fi world, in the high-end world, and I would always be a pop smart clown. Okay, jackass.
As he's playing his fucking clip speakers from a Marantz amplifier. That's what's happening there.
Yeah.
You got your daughter poking in there. I see.
Yeah, and the worst thing is, I wrote him in a, well, kind of bad and good way. And I said, oh my God, you're a really sad person. You start every dialogue with a provocation, and I don't think that you will get far in life with that attitude, but I think you already figured that out for yourself. It's sad for you, and I hope you get an excitement of the way that you actually act, and blah, 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 blah. And then I told him that I don't think that he will call me a jackass if I stood in front of him. And it is so sad that you're still just a jackass. Have a good day.
Well, everybody can kick some ass behind a keyboard and a blog post.
Exactly, yeah.
And I'm just like, shut the fuck up, man. Just be a nice guy. Don't be a jackass.
I mean, yeah, I'm from that hi-fi world, and the audio. I used to deal with a guy who I worked in the Bang and Olufsen store, and 2 doors away was a high-end audio store, and they sold Name and Bowers and Wilkins and Meridian and all that sort of stuff. And he couldn't stand Bang and Olufsen. He said Bang and Olufsen is just the same as Bose. It's form over function. I said, well, hang on a minute. Bose isn't even form, let alone function. It's just plastic. It's neither. It's just garbage. That's for people who don't know any better. What are you doing? And he was a total.
See you, John.
John.
He was a total hi-fi snob. Couldn't stand the sort of cheap hi-fi. And I said to him, even cheaper hi-fi set up correctly can sound.
Oh, much better.
Budget, you can get hi-fi that sounds good, but he was against it unless you were spending £10,000 to £50,000 on Lin and Meridian and stuff. It was just garbage, and I couldn't stand it. It's just total snobbery.
Yeah, but my problem here was this was in the kind of the start of the beginning of my YouTube channel, so I was like feeling that I'm giving my fucking heart out here. I'm trying to get these people involved in the product and inviting people into my home. And if you don't like me, that's totally fine. And my wife probably agrees with you, but I mean, just be kind of nice. I'm trying to be nice, and I feel kind of sad when people is being like this. It's making me sad. It sucks. Yeah, and it will be nice just to say, if you just wrote me, hey, I just really don't like your type or how you talk on the internet, so I will not watch you anymore. I can write back, okay, that's fine, and I totally respect it. But just fucking don't call me a jackass.
Yeah. I've got to the point where now I've started to be quite sarcastic in the comments of the videos, and I'll try to reply to most, but if there's bad ones,
why not have your dad do it? I think he's better at it.
You can be my moderator. I like that.
that is funny.
Yeah, but we have these trolls.
Yeah, I don't care. It's like, yeah, whatever. At first, he's taking it quite personal.
Yeah, but this was with the first guy, and I only had this one guy. Everybody else is kind of nice, and I haven't had any problems with anybody. But this was just my first.
Yeah.
Fuck you! I hate you.
There'll be more.
Yeah, definitely.
There'll be more. Right on. I love the
Oh,
optimism.
by the way, coming back on something from last week, which I nearly forgot. Henrik, have you wired your 50s yet?
No.
Because Christian corrected himself, and
No.
so yeah, I told you and I showed you what he said, and it is true. You need to wire them for full room compensation.
Yeah, I know.
I compensate fully right now.
I was actually after the debate here on the YouTube thingy, I decided not to do it because I didn't want to do it because Christian said that it would not do anything. And then I saw your comment on YouTube and I was like, fuck. Yeah, I am going to do it. And I'm still going to do it with a picture of John where I'm going to plug it in. And I am going to do it. I had a very busy week and I'll try to do it next week.
Okay.
God damn it, Kitty. 2 seconds.
I love living on my own.
The worst thing about last week was, John, you said that when you haven't plugged your Beolab 50s into Cat 7, it's just a grown-up Beolab 18. And I was just like, fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, I would like a Beolab 20.
In fact, interestingly, this week I've been playing with my 50s in the store, and I've got the sofa right in the centre with an Eclipse, just like Michael's got, the two 50s, but then I've got a chair over to the left and a chair over to the right. And I've played with the calibration, and I've set up some more presets to show customers what they can do. I mean, there is no, get it right, there is no substitute for sitting bang in the middle of your speakers. There's never any substitute. But I have got now set presets for the left hand and right hand chair. So when you do sit in that chair and you listen to the speakers, the vocalist is still bang in the middle of the speakers. You can hear both speakers equally, and I've done separate calibrations for each side. So I like to sit a customer in each chair and say, right, this one's for you. So one person can only hear one speaker that's right in front of them, and the other person is getting perfect stereo, bang in the middle of the TV, and then I swap it over.
And then vice versa.
Yeah, and it's
wow,
really powerful demonstration. It's
I will get to it next week because my dealer also called me that we need to figure out if I'm gonna keep them.
Mike is shuffling for.
Yeah,
look at you! You got a little fucking CO2 container. You gonna make some soda, are you?
Well, sort of. It's actually more important.
Don't they sniff it in Amsterdam?
No, it doesn't do anything.
I sleep under my pillow.
Did you buy that fucking microphone finally, or are you just borrowing it, you cheap bastard?
I'm still borrowing it.
Try to plug it into your clips.
I mean, how often do you have to remeasure your room, for God's sake?
Every now and then, God damn it. The speakers flow, the speakers break in a little more.
Every time you move the remote control to one spot to the other.
Every time you take the dishes out of the dishwasher.
Exactly. All makes a difference.
That's right. I calibrate when my bathtub is filled and when it's empty. That's about 3 dBs more bass when it's empty. No, I actually did play around. It's funny that we were talking about the speaker groups essentially, because I had set up a whole bunch of them yesterday as well, and it makes a huge difference. I actually did watch. I started watching Stranger Things, and I made a purpose of or point of watching them in speaker 5 mode. You could really call it here, where I did turn on the 90s, but I put them in the wide mode, and I turned on the Avant Center channel. Yeah. It's much more stomachable than when you have the 90s in narrow mode. They bring it right to your fucking head, and then that you can hear that 1.5 meter difference of where the acoustic imaging is from the 90s to where the TV sits where the picture is. Like that realism is a little tainted.
I do the same. When for music, I tend to use narrow, but for movies, I flip the 50s into wide mode on preset 2.
And let them throw the sound around a little more.
Exactly.
And it's definitely. I recommend watching Stranger Things 3. It's pretty good on Netflix. It just started off on a few episodes. I actually passed out through the midway of one of them, so I have to rewatch. Fucking Eames chair.
It's not the whiskey's fault.
No, well, I had some bourbon yesterday, but I just I passed out at like 10 o'clock. I was listening to the music since I think I got home at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I've decided, which I'm going to repeat myself, but I don't think you've heard this, John. I've updated the Moment back to the normal software that it had. Now everything works as far as the multi-room, and my Deezer Hi-Fi is working as far as the FLAC files. So, immense difference. So I spent, I think, almost 6 hours of listening to the 90s and just rediscovering my music yet again.
Good man.
But, then I got a little sleepy because I went, I think, through a half bottle of bourbon. In fact.
So you're just finishing it off today, you mean?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm working on it. One sip at a time.
So how was the harmony, Mickey?
Yeah, well, it was great, really. Ours worked with TV, so that was nice to see the TV capability of it. It was IPTV though, so it was through an app, so it wasn't like the full-on integrated. But it came. They set it up with 50s, and it was a lot nicer in person than it was in the B&O pictures.
Yes, it absolutely is. That I can't get, because I've got a couple of guys looking at it and saying on the videos and pictures and stuff, and they've seen a YouTube channel and things like that, and they just they don't quite get that speaker part. But I keep saying to them, look, you see, I was the same, and you see it in the flesh, and it just makes sense. It's so beautiful.
Yep.
The wood looks so much nicer in real life than it does on those sterile B&O surgery rooms.
It does. It does.
Are you going to change, Michael?
Well, maybe. I'm still thinking of should I upgrade speakers or TV? Because
you want to upgrade to 90s and then don't change the TV?
Maybe it's
the same as I'm in the same position. Do I want to keep the 50s or do I want to go with the harmony?
I mean, the harmony at 77-inch is huge. It's up to my shoulder.
I'm not going to go with the 77. Yeah. I'm going to go with the 65.
Oh, no, I would go big or go home, sort of.
I couldn't do even a 65-inch because the stand doesn't move. I couldn't. I'd lose my balcony. And I'm not doing that. I like my cigars too much to lose the balcony.
Well, I mean, fortunately, my balcony's over there and the TV would go here. So, I mean, it also saves so much over time on paint.
But do you want to change it to the 90s instead of the 50s?
Well, it's not like I have a great track record with 50s at this point.
But
watch him get an aneurysm when the fucking 90s click in his house.
I really don't think that you can get the 90s with the clicking option.
Yeah.
I think can you get the ticking option, John?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's a separate part number.
Oh, it's
yeah, the clicking option. Yeah.
It's the Mickey. It is.
Well, you actually can get it if you roll them back to the first software option.
Yeah,
I'm not even kidding.
There was clicking on him. I never had it in mine, in neither of them. Because they were saying like, oh yeah, the clicking's supposed to be gone. I'm like, you mean the relays when you turn them on? I fucking like that. I like to just click. Like I like when they come on. I had no idea until like.
Then I have a question for you, Willie. Does your 90s come on like click, or do they?
They come exactly like that.
Yeah, that sucks.
Master comes second.
I hate it. It will just, in my opinion, in my house, they do the same. It's like, and I'm like,
it's like, fuck.
Yeah, I can't have it. I mean, the master would have to just turn on, tell the slave, hey, I'm on, and then I'm on.
Let's do it.
I
wonder if it's that the slave has to be there for the master to recognise it's awake first. I don't know. There'll be some...
I don't know, but mine is only connected through VISA. They don't have a DPL cable in between them.
So you don't even know if you have the ticking or not.
No. That's true.
Well, that's one thing.
I'm
and
going to be
secondly,
so sort of schadenfreude happy if you're going to have the ticking as well once you wire them up.
Oh, I could have that. Then I will put them out on the balcony in the rain.
I don't remember, but I think on the WISA I definitely did the same. I wouldn't say that they never came in as one. Like the lap 5s when they just have that deep subtle relay, right? Like they just, it's so fucking satisfying to hear that.
Yeah. Tell you what, I like the pin code sound on Beoplay 5.
Yeah.
When you put the pin in, it makes the happy sound. Oh, it's...
Fuck!
Yeah, I love it.
I got 3 more tries, or we're sitting in quiet for 3 hours now. God damn it!
I
it's so nice to sit in a room with like-minded people.
Dude, I had locked out a set of lap 5s. It was 8:45 on New Year's. Ooh. At night. We got them unlocked exactly at fucking 10 to midnight because they went 3 hours to the dick mode, right? And I just, oh no, what did we do? And nobody told me that the pin code was changed to 0000, right? Because that makes fucking sense. I'm like, why do I have to pull it out of the ROS system? To put this in, and it goes, doo-doo. I'm like, no, that's not the sound you're supposed to make. Fucking hell. Yeah, that was definitely a memorable. That New Year's, oh my God, we listened to a whole bunch of shit.
Why don't we have pin codes on the 50s?
Because nobody knows where to grab them to move them.
They're so fucking obtuse, you can't carry them anywhere.
Yeah, pain in the ass.
It is a pain in the ass, and I'm glad that the 90s don't have it.
Let me turn it around. Is there a pin code on the BeoVision 4 103?
Yeah, because it's a BeoSystem 3 platform.
Because that is really, really easy to move around.
No, but it was on the BeoSystem 3, and that thing had fucking pin code, right?
I guess
that's just what it is.
One thing you can almost immediately do with all the newer stuff is if somebody steals it and even remotely logs it into the app, you know where it is because of IP.
No, I don't think so.
What do you go to where'smy90s.com? Fuck.
No, well, we may not know that, but Bang and Olufsen can certainly tell where they've gone.
You think so?
I think so, because you have to add them
portal,
to...
Yeah.
No. They will never be able to tell you where the speakers are, because maybe if you have fiber, then you have 300-400 people on the same firewall somewhere, and you'll just get a DHCP from some fucking DHCP server. Nobody will know where they are.
Well, but how do they pump the software?
I don't mean within half a meter or something, but in the general area.
Yeah, they will.
That's close enough
in the general area, but that will never find your speakers.
You just call around some neighbors. Have you heard some loud thumping all of a sudden recently?
Yeah, my neighbors reno in the kitchen for the last 3.5 months.
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
I don't know. I wonder how that works too.
Maybe Christian, he knows a lot about what's going on in the cloud.
But certainly, if you want to put them in your app, you have to make an account first.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
And then, you have to put something there.
Yeah, your email.
Yeah, and then you have the serial number that gets put into your account. I'm not saying it's foolproof, but you get into the general vicinity.
Yeah, but as Lauritz, as you said, yeah, you can tell what the ISP is, but who cares if it's John.net?
No, not the ISP, the IP address.
Mickey.net. It doesn't really matter who your ISP is.
No, not the ISP, the IP address, because
but the IP address will never give you. Well, if you do an IP search for me, you'll know that I live right here, actually. But that's because of a different thing. I have a public IP.
Danish flag on his kitchen window.
Yeah, I have a public IP, but a lot of people just have a DHCP from somewhere. So it doesn't really matter. I mean,
well, the cops can then probably, if you have any decent cops, at least they can call the ISP, the internet service provider, and they know where it comes from.
They wouldn't do shit about it. I had a boxing on a pay-per-view the other day. Well, not the other day, a few weeks ago. And somebody at the firm didn't think about, let's make a privacy and a pirate stream so we could find the piracy guys. And somebody did a piracy stream and aired it out. And it actually called #the Danish Pirate Bay. And they aired the match that we had on pay-per-view. And I found the ISP and everything, and I told him, this is the guy. I have the IP, everything. He had a public IP. So I knew where he was living, where he was at, and everything. And they didn't want to shut him down because it was not their problem. So I don't think that Bang and Olufsen can do much about that either.
No, but I would hope the police deals with criminals, not B&O, but B&O can help you and tell you where they are. Or roughly, and then the police should take it from there.
Yeah.
We've got guys caught before because of the PIN codes. They call in with that bullshit story. Oh yeah, my friend moved to Europe and he gave me that whole system with like these pencil speakers and this 5-disc CD changer, which is 6 of them because the one is covered by the fucking mechanism. And he just okay, cool, yeah, but I need to know the PIN, the serial number because they have no idea. And yeah, we had one instance that the cops actually waited for the guy in the back of the shop to come in. He came in and he got arrested in the store.
Well, we have that in Denmark as well. I think the Danish ISP is much better than a lot of other ISP. My wife works for one of the ISPs here in Denmark, in Copenhagen. And they have a few times every month a police thing that says, well, this guy looked at child pornography and this guy downloaded something that he shouldn't do, and yeah.
Then there's Mikey with no Google Assistant. What the fuck's going on in his house? We can't listen to.
We can't find him anywhere. And
they turn my webcam on remotely and they see my cats on the
there you go.
Looking at cat porn.
Yeah, I don't think today you can really escape it at all as far as the monitoring goes.
Yes, you can.
Where?
You can escape it. Yes, you can. You can escape it. You just have to try.
Like having a fucking Serene and a BeoSound 2? That's basically the only...
Get a decent VPN. That helps a lot. Have it on your router.
Well, yeah, but just, for the normal people, if you think about it, to be off the grid. Back in the day, when I fucked off with my Walkman... But you don't have to be off the grid to be
That
was it, dude. That was it till I came home.
But you don't have to be off the grid to not be seen. You can be on the grid and not be seen either. It's not that hard.
There you go. I don't really care for wasting my energy on it, and I don't give a shit.
It's not. They make an app. You literally turn it on, and that's
it. I'm in Russia right now.
Yes.
I'm in Russia.
I'm in Chile in 5 minutes.
I am chilly. Fuck, my air conditioning is going on.
It is scary, the amount of information that they grab from you. I mean, I used, before all this, we had a thing in England for the GDPR, so it restricted how we could market to people and things like that. But I was using a program where it used to send out regular emails just to say what was going on in the store, promote new YouTube videos, things like that, to people who signed up to the email list. And the program I used could tell what time the email was opened, how many times it was opened, by who, by which email address that had sent it to, what country they were in, and all this. It's quite scary. And I'm sure if they knew that I had that information,
don't
nobody
tell
would
anybody,
ever
John.
know. It's crazy. I stopped using it now. I don't use it at all now because since the GDPR, I don't use it. And it felt a bit wrong to me because I wouldn't like to be on the other side of that. So
don't upgrade to the next Microsoft Word either.
Okay.
Because Microsoft will check what you're typing and make politically correct suggestions if you type something that's not politically correct.
No.
Which means
That's
the AI isn't happening locally. That means they can see what you're typing because it gets sent off, analyzed, and then you get a suggestion back.
Oh.
This obviously happens like that, but still.
I just made an agreement with an AI company in Istanbul. I mean,
they're fucking trustworthy there, dude.
they have the money and they know their shit.
Till the rockets fly up your ass.
A whole match, or just then I will air it to my customers in Denmark, whatever, Norway, Sweden, whatever, on satellite and fiber, whatever, and then I will do a same thing to these guys in Istanbul, and they will actually look at every pixel on the screen, and if the referee goes out and do like this, then they know there is a VAR thing. So then they will metadata everything in that said that this is what the judge does, and they will recognize the faces of the players and everything, and all that metadata is going into my media management system. So I have like all the fucking information about that whole match for just one stream, and nobody is doing anything.
And what are you gonna do with that?
I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna sell it, boy.
No, if there is like on the
you pay
social
for the
media, if there is something about a football player or a soccer player, I can say, please put in the last 10 goals that this player has done and all the yellow cards, and then I'll put it on social media like this.
Also, you pay for the copyright. You might as well get your money's worth.
It's my stream. It's my problem.
By the way, talking about being stingy, I heard recently that B&O is a bit stingy with regards to the forum, mostly. Because somebody on the forum told me that B&O has been sort of sending disgruntled customers to check on the forum to see if the forum has solutions for their issues.
No.
And yet they're not really contributing anything to the forum. So, since I like the forum, if you're not a paying member yet, please do so, because it sort of survives on paying members, and I see quite a lot of members that aren't paying. Which, I mean, if you can't, it's fine, but...
I don't pay.
Yeah, well...
Do you pay for being in the forum?
You can choose to, but I do pay.
That's why I got 3 gold stars, motherfucker!
I mean, there is the free option, but since it's like a community passion project, I feel like supporting it.
I'm on the forum once every 3rd month.
Sure, but like then I don't specifically mean you. I mean more the regular guys that are on there. Like every other. I think it's something like €35 a year.
Oh, John will pay it for me.
Of course, well, yeah.
Tax write-off for the business.
Yeah.
He'll do a tax write-off and everything.
Well,
that's right.
But yeah, I mean, I actually also for certain things have had more help from the forum than from actual BeoCare.
I've actually used the forum, like it's a good place to. There's a lot of people that actually know their shit.
Yeah, it's a very good resource place.
Yep.
That's I agree
also,
with
as
you
I
on
understand it, it's a bit of a loss leader, as in for the people that fund it. Like they don't make any money on it, so we might as well support it since it's a good place to have. And
well, it's the only place to really have, if you think about it. If that goes down, where the fuck are you going to go research B&O?
Yeah, even if you have questions about 50-year-old stuff, there's 5 guys that always appear that know stuff about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting there with their freaking Coke bottle glasses and shit and a soldering iron and putting the caps into the old 5500 Beomaster.
Sandeep, we are 2 people here. No worries.
non-paying
No worries. John will pay yours as well.
Yeah, come on, anyone. Yeah, I'll pay them all.
For corporate, there's also you can also sponsor the site. By the way, I have no vested interest in this other than that I like the site.
just go on Twitter, hashtag John will pay MCR. John will pay MCR. Just hashtag that and it will go on.
And watch it happen.
It's all happening.
John is just sitting.
John's gonna pay with his Bitcoin account.
I mean, Steve's a sponsor.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but Steve, he does make pretty good, not pretty good living, but he does make a profit off of it. Because there's people that ask about cables all the time.
He gets business from it. It makes sense to do that, doesn't it? It's
yeah.
Well, you have a small fan base over there.
Really?
You're just referred to as John generally, and everybody knows who John is.
Yay! Go me.
We're gonna have a T-shirt signing in London next week, I guess, eh?
Sign him, John.
It's just weird when somebody comes in and says, "Hiya, John," and I'm like, "Hi."
And who the fuck are you?
I watch all your videos. Like, okay, cool, nice one, man. Come in. It's a bit of an icebreaker. It's nice because you can be a bit more friendly with them. It's lovely.
Are you into motorsports, John?
Bottles.
Not particular. I'm quite big into cars, and I like driving and cars and stuff, but never really got into motorsport.
I've been watching the Goodwood Festival from here the last 2-3 days.
Oh yeah.
I was about to go there. It's a good festival.
Oh, like the bikes?
No, it's
everything.
Hill climb.
Yeah, everything that goes fast, basically. But mostly cars.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a giant estate. In Goodwood, really. I think is the place, right? Or it's Lord Goodwood, and it's a massive castle with a asphalt road, and they just go like stink over there.
Yeah.
How far away is it from Manchester, John?
No, I'll have to look. 1 second. I have no idea.
Just spit a number.
Yeah.
Just
200 miles.
Give or take.
It's on the south coast. It's near Portsmouth, so it's like an 8-9 hour drive from you.
Oh, probably not that far. It's
Portsmouth is something like that, isn't it, from Manchester?
It's 2 road sandwiches away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are we Googling now?
Manchester to Goodwood.
I'm Googling naked ladies. I don't know what you're doing.
Nice.
Kim, did you hear that?
He's in the other room. You're going to get a broomstick up your ass.
Far off. It's 241 miles for about 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
But I don't live in Manchester, but so that was even closer to me. I'm 50 miles away from Manchester, where I live.
Mm.
Yeah, that's how far Willie lives from his work, probably. Canadian distances.
Oh, that's 8 hours.
25 kilometers from my house, from my work. There and back it's 50. You guys don't have those in there?
Kilometers nonsense. What's that nonsense? Kilometers.
Well, miles. Miles, you bastard.
Yeah, because it's miles and miles per gallon on a car, but then everything else is centimeters and meters and
you pay per liter for fuel.
You pay per liter for fuel, but you measure it miles per gallon because that's the reference you've got. It doesn't make any sense when you think about it.
No, it does not, and I find that it's a more or less Canadian, or it's an imperial bipolarism in metric system, is what I would call that.
Inches don't make any sense to me, but that I'm measuring miles. I know 60 miles per gallon on my car is good, and 30 miles is quite bad.
But there's a 3 centimeter gap here, guys.
Exactly. Yeah, I measure everything.
1 inch and a quarter.
Yeah.
Well, it's also that you use a 17 mil socket on your 17-inch wheels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. good old Britain.
Can we not just agree on something?
No, that wouldn't be British.
No.
But you know what though? When I install B&O, I do go off of metric system. Because I just can't bear with the quarters and 3/64ths and fuck off. Like, no, man, it's gonna be mils. That's it. Plus, all the stuff comes in millimeters on the B&O installation posters as well.
Yeah, exactly. But then things like, in fact, my dad growing up in the last generation, he can just, he'll convert inches to centimeters to what. It doesn't matter what you do. He'll convert pints into millimeters if you want to. It's just, oh yeah, it's about 2 3/4 inches. Is it? I don't know. Like a little walking
there with a little girly tape measure for like, yeah, it is too. Fucking hell.
75.5 centimeters, what? Something like that. My dad made me do that as a kid. Like all these fucking conversions because he was British too.
You've retained most of them, I see.
Yeah, because like there was always the disconnect. Like in Dutch, he would speak to me in like millimeters, but in English, it was like, oh, it's like 9 feet over there, and it's like, what the fuck is that?
How many is 9 feet? You're looking at your
like
shoes.
about 3 meters.
Yeah, see, again,
different than yours, Dad.
My dad was a rally driver. I had to taste the difference between 95 and 92 octane and jet fuel.
Taste it.
Can you taste the difference, boy?
Well, that's one way to grow a beard, I guess.
That's crazy. Yeah, I would like to. I would actually like to be in a rally car for once in my life, to be taken on a course.
Yeah,
I don't want to be the dickhead that reads the shit. I just want to be the one that screams for his dear life as we're fucking barreling down the goddamn road.
I'm actually right now it's not rally, but maybe doing a thing where we're going to the Circuit de la Sarthe, the Le Mans circuit, and drive LMP2 cars for a weekend. And that's gonna be some shit.
We're gonna do a burnout in one?
I almost forgot about this. Christian, yeah, he's got his freaking Link-Eye now wirelessly connected. Let's elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, I saw that, Christian, and it's pretty cool. You're actually doing the same with the Link-Eye as I want to do with my
Essence remote.
Stupid ass Essence remote. Because I want my Essence remote to have like my button, and shut the fuck up.
In that order.
And Christian actually made the exact same thing just with the Link-Eye. And it's pretty fucking sweet.
No, nice.
Because I want to, instead of my hue dimmer, I want to use this as a remote to turn on the lights, turn on the music in the whole room, and see you later, I'm leaving. And Christian actually did that with an old Link-Eye.
Cool.
I wonder if he has automated shades yet.
He will.
It's called Hey Honey.
Keep a different. Don't have it now, but he will have it in August because that's when IKEA comes with all their electronic.
And those things work on batteries.
Solar, I think. No.
So is your beer remote one, bitch?
Yeah, but the thing is, with automated blinds on batteries, every so often you have to charge your blinds.
Yeah, they do have the place where you can't. Well, I've used them a few times where you can't run cables, and it's just going to be.
Lutron, yeah, and they're good for a year or 2 years. Like it's.
They can be a little bit louder, the motors, for some reason, but yeah, they're okay.
They're probably using Lego gears and shit. Just like,
yeah, no lube.
It's Lego.
And we went there. All right, get your mind out of the gutter, y'all. I'm having a swig.
So, just to get back on track, Christian, you used Has.io for the kit to talk with the IR remote, right? Because I thought you were using Has.io. I've used Has.io for a long time here in this house. But I actually kind of went away from it because I think that Google is taking its place somehow. Okay, it was Has.io. Yeah. Have any of you guys worked with Has.io?
No,
You don't know what we're talking about?
No, man.
Oh, let's keep this
I
going.
have a dumb house.
That's right. He's got clicker switches up in that bitch, man.
My house is just a house, basically. That's all it does.
He still has a broomstick for the clips to change.
To turn on the Bluetooth to pair the remote to it.
You mutes his Google Assistant.
No. It's next. It's never working here.
Are the cores still available with the IR port, or they're discontinued?
No, I believe they're still going.
It has an IR port.
Yeah.
Wait, Willie, didn't you order like 6 of them or something, and you always got the wrong
No, I never
one?
gotten them. They all came in with non-IR.
Ah.
Because apparently you had to change the order when it was ordered. I'm like, the fuck you talking about? I ordered the proper product number, but that was a long time ago. No, I got a project coming up that the guy's going to rip out passive kits out of the house, and we're gonna do an amplifier one, most likely, with a couple of cores in it. And I'm gonna utilize the link eyes because it's a 4,000 square foot house, or whatever the fuck meters there is in squared.
How many square feet?
4,000.
So
Yeah,
that's 380 square meters, roughly.
so yeah, it's a big house, and they're adding I think about a 1,500 square foot expansion to the kitchen because
Bloody hell.
they had realized exactly what I've realized a while back is that why the fuck do I bother with the living room and all this, where North American habits in hanging out are everybody congregates around the kitchen. That's it. Everybody
Sorry,
sits
headphone
around
users.
here.
Jesus Christ.
Oh. He's got his headphones tangled in the beard. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. It's full of static.
It's a static beard. It's got a dry air. I got 45% humidity up in here, and I think it's storming outside right now. So
It's quite warm here. Yeah, it's still light, still warm. Had a barbecue outside. A couple of Beo brew. I cracked the Beo brews early, so I've run out now. But I get to chat with 3 of my favourite people in the world about stuff that I love.
Right on.
I'm joining you, Willie. Big Willie.
Oh, right on. Cheers. Here's to the people with the brown liquor. The brown gold.
Is that stuff?
No, it's whiskey. I haven't got a bottle of that. I'm still waiting to try my dad's.
So I saw an interesting sort of topic in the forum, and I thought I wonder what your take is on it. Do you prefer the sort of 90s / Lab 1 / Pentas tweeter arrays, or more the alt lenses?
Acoustic lens. So sort of acoustic lens or not acoustic lens, basically.
Yes. To alt or not to alt?
Yeah, each has got the place, I think. For that precise, super clean Beolab 50 sound, I think acoustic lens does its job. I mean, it came from Beolab 5 and that utilised them beautifully. But I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with an old style facing forward, here I am tweeter. Each has got their application, I think. I don't think there's a right or wrong as such. Acoustic lens probably sounds cleaner in terms of its focus, but I'm sure it's got its disadvantages as well. I don't know. It just depends on the whole cabinet principle of the speaker and how big the speaker is and things like that. Maybe an acoustic lens is better on a bigger speaker. It makes it more isolated. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Yeah, it depends on the whole speaker design as a whole, I think. I don't think you could just shove an acoustic lens on anything. But if the rest of the cabinet and the rest of the design principle is designed around acoustic lens, then the other drivers probably have a different calibration. Who knows? But yeah, I think each has got its place, to be honest.
Yeah, Henrik, what's your feeling on the to acoustic lens or not to acoustic lens?
I was off in a few minutes. 2 acoustic lenses in what?
Do you prefer the speakers with an acoustic lens or more like a traditional Penta / Beolab 1 tweeter situation?
Direct firing versus dispersed, I guess.
I do like the acoustic lens. I think it's something that only Bang and Olufsen have. And
it's cleaner. It's definitely
clean.
Yeah, it is.
It's when you see it, you see, okay, that's a Bang and Olufsen product.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with the 90s in my perspective. It just has.
Fuck you, buddy.
It just gives you something.
That's different because you've got the side and rear facing tweeters and mids that do all the business that they do. So that's like a super acoustic lens. The acoustic lens is trying to mimic what the 90s do in a way, but with only a fraction of the equipment.
90s do it with an utmost control when it comes to
90s do it with hardware, not with sort of.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. The acoustic lens is very, very clean, but the Beolab 5's acoustic lens, I mean, I suppose it does. In a way, it helps stereo imaging. In a way, it doesn't because it's spreading over that.
The 5s is spreading way too wide, in my opinion. I have the 12.3s, as surround speakers, and they do an amazing job because you really would like a spread on the surround speakers.
Yes.
And it that just works amazing. But I mean, the 50s compared to the 5s, because when I watch a movie in the 50s doing the narrow thing, it works much better than the 5s. But I mean, yeah.
Yeah, the 50s are sort of the best of both worlds, really, where you can narrow the lens like mechanically.
Everybody, let's go. Everybody, come on. Everybody. Yeah.
Thumbnail.
Oh, that's a thumbnail. Let's go. Let's do a thumbnail. Thumbnail.
That's literally going to be the thumbnail.
Narrow versus wide, baby. I like them narrow.
Just playing around over the last week with narrow and wides, the difference is really quite impressive. When it's narrow, it's proper focus. I mean, it's only like
laser
that.
beam. It's a laser beam focus.
Where you put your microphone, that is where the narrow mode is.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It is. It's so cool. So acoustic lens does give you that control. For that selfish one-person listening spot, acoustic lens is almost essential. Yeah, go on.
When you calibrate the 50s or 90s, how do you guys place the microphone, and how far from
center of your head?
Yeah,
it would be. And then if you imagine like a box around your head, you have the lower corner down there, and then the top corner behind your head.
So that's exactly how I did mine too.
Like that, yeah.
Exactly correct.
First one in the middle.
And the fucked up thing about that whole calibration is that, like, when I sit on the Eames chair and you just, do a shimmy just a little bit, you almost lose it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's
with the 90s. It's an unbelievably very, very, very focused sonic experience.
You could change it into. You could make like a movement around you, and put them all together as one calibration, and then it will work when you like sit in your chair.
Yeah.
It's not recommended for narrow mode to use more than one calibration, from what Tonmeister was saying, because you just load and strain the processing more for places that you are not really present in at that time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for what you're saying, I would rather have it more or less in a tuned wide mode, because that disperses it laterally throughout that entire where my plane of field of movement. And that's where, like I said, started watching the Stranger Things 3 in a narrow. I didn't watch it in narrow mode. I made a purpose. I actually did all the speaker groups, so I'm doing it all with 90s at wide with the center channel on the Avant turned on actually, and obviously the 18s are in the wide mode. It sounds pretty good.
It does. I prefer wide for movies, but narrow for music.
And I see where you're coming from now with it, John, because I've never watched till the Stranger Things 3 came out. I never watched anything. I never really utilized the 90s in a wide mode at all. Like, there was no point for it. I have few calibrations.
Well, you have one chair in your room.
Well, fuck, but I stand in two different places, so I actually did tune it for the kitchen where I usually stand and do shit. So I have, like two speakers,
those
three
Canadians.
speaker groups. That's right. So, and it's a big difference between the chair and where I'm sitting or standing in the kitchen when it comes to the more or less the bass and the actual sound focus performance of the speakers. It's really weird, but they work flawlessly.
I mean, I have my 50s is set on wide mode as normal TV listening.
Yeah.
And if I'm watching a movie, they will narrow down.
For narrow. Yeah.
Unless my wife is watching the movie with me and she's in the sofa, then it's still on wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, but women can't hear. Chicks don't give a fuck about the soundstage and shit. It just looks cool.
Yeah,
that's good. That's a woman to keep, man. Because
I
think it's that's a half truth, because what I've noticed is initially she didn't care that much, but now she's accustomed to the 50s. Everywhere else is like, Jesus Christ, this music is horrible.
Yeah, Kim is exactly the same. Yeah, what's wrong with the TV sound? That's a normal TV speaker.
Oh, did I say that out loud? Fucking looking around.
We had the same thing when we were visiting my parents, and then we were watching. I think it was the Eurovision something song contest, stupid thing, and it was just like, and she was like, "Why does it sound like this?" And it's just like, well, you have the speakers that sound the biggest this on the back of the
turn out that's what the mortals listen to, honey.
Way. Yeah,
that's what the mortals listen to. Shit.
Yeah. Then she became a Feinsmaker.
Yeah, it's different. I'm fucked forever with the 90s.
Yeah,
like, it's over. Like I don't even bother because people think, I just listen to this. I'm like, you know what? If I want to throw up in my own mouth, it better be bourbon in it. Like fuck, I don't want to listen to your shitty shit on your shitty phone with the shitty shit headphones. Fucking skull candy motherfuckers, man. Come on, get out of here.
Hey, I tell you what I'm rocking at the moment. I've some beats. I've got a nice
Dr. Dre
system. Yeah. It's good.
Because he's a real doctor, you know.
Yeah. Doctor of bullshit.
But it's boomy though.
PhD in bullshit. I picked up a pair of Beolab 2500s, thinking they're going to be dog shit. They're going to be awful.
They're not.
I put them on, and I put them with the Beolab 2 subwoofer. They sound absolutely fantastic.
Oh, yeah, they're great. I think they're one of those, almost like, I would say, Beolab 4s, where they went just under the radar speakers, where the Lab 4s, it's not good, but they sound great in the small rooms for a certain purpose. But the 2500s were the same way, man. They were canon, especially hanging on the wall bracket with the whatever Beo Sound 3200 and backwards we go. Yeah, they were great. Yeah, and did you get them with the aluminum grills or the cloths?
I've got a pair with aluminium grills. Aluminium, not aluminum.
It's aluminum here.
Aluminium.
We don't have time to pronounce shit.
And I've got a pair with a black cloth, but I've got a black spectral cabinet with a TV now wall mount. I've changed all my room around, and the Beolab 2500 sit perfectly with the little L-shaped things that just sort of frame the bottom of the TV. And then, I've got the Beolab 2 sub going, and it sounds fantastic.
Fucking hate those speakers.
Oh, Jesus, man.
Fucking hate them.
Why?
For the first time ever, you're in the minority in that case, because I like.
They're really good.
Hate those speakers.
Really?
And with not the Century, what was it? The 2300?
Yeah,
the middle. I mean,
the L shape, wasn't it? They're just so full of charm. They've got that lovely retro, warm sort of.
And you could get it in blue and red.
They were cool when like the Beo Media 1 was cool, remember? And the Beo Player was happening with the Dell monitor, and they had them beside it in the catalog. And the Beo Sound 1, that was 15, 17 years ago at this point of time.
Beo Sound 1 was the oval one, right?
Oh, sorry, Beo Sound 2. the little freaking silver. What would you call it? A rollerblade wheel
Yes, yeah.
with the quarter missing that you kick the curb with.
Mickey, you need to put up some pictures. I'm
I'm
too young for you guys.
Oh my God! You don't know what BeoSound 2 is? It's not the Coney cone. It's not the today's coffee pot. It's the.
I know
That
about
was
the
a
Century.
fucking great MP3 player, bar none. That was a great MP3 player. That thing it ruined everything else that I've ever heard of.
Yeah, because the
And it was the
iPod
first-
didn't just keep on living.
Well, fuck you, man. Show me an iPod right now, man. Everybody's got a phone. Like, you know, that's
I
just...
have an iPod. You can actually. They just made an iPod. Oh, the stream is offline.
Oh.
Is it me?
Yeah, no.
They made an iPod. They made a
YouTube.
freaking...
Anyway, we're still recording, so we're fine. It'll be back.
Okay, they made an iPod just 3 weeks ago. The 2019 iPod. And you have to go into Apple's homepage and you have to search for an iPod. And then you'll find it.
Does it have a solid state drive or what the fuck?
I don't know. I think no. Nobody has a solid state drive. It's a flash drive.
They should still get the We All Lost Content. Some happened.
Yeah,
Let's just carry on. Just be communist about it. Just nothing's happening around us. The Chernobyl didn't pop. We're good.
I'm pretty sure this is on YouTube's end, really.
The luminous glow in the orange sky has nothing to concern you with.
Oh, it just went back to it. It closed
what
the stream.
happened? I'm watching Linus Tech Tips for some reason. I don't know where that came from.
It just
Mickey didn't pay the bill.
It's not my internet.
No, YouTube stopped your stream after 2 hours.
That's a new rule?
No.
I don't know.
Man, fuck that shit. You're gonna have to re-release the Titanic movie to 2.5 hours, 2 hours long.
I mean, my internet is quick as shit still, so I don't know what's going on.
Our shit is quick as your internet.
Yeah, I keep trying to refresh. I get nothing. It goes straight to Linus Tech Tips.
But it closed down exactly after 2 hours. So
maybe
maybe it's a new rule.
We got demonetized 2 hours in.
Well, we haven't even been monetized, so I guess it's not too bad.
Fucking communists.
Oh god, it might... Jesus.
Yeah, hoorah. That's where that...
Should we make a new stream?
Well, it seems like either OBS is has fucked
doing
up.
its thing. OBS is not doing its thing
or
right
it's
now.
or it's YouTube because it can't connect to YouTube for some reason.
YouTube's down, dude. Maybe there's a fucking zombie apocalypse outside and none of us know about it right now because we're nerding in front of this shit. There's fucking tanks outside, dude.
Is it weird that I kind of hope that Willie is right?
That'd be fucked up, man.
I actually, hang on. I saw a guy on the interweb here the other day, and I took a picture of him. And he actually, it was a guy from the US, and he had this thing on his truck where it says, "I'm a zombie apocalyptic." Here it is. Here it is. Okay, hang on. Can you see this?
Screen share.
Can you see it?
Further. Over.
Move it to your left. That's
Yeah,
it.
your left, not
Oh,
mine.
okay, hang on. It says zombie outbreak response team. And he's like this really, really American dude. I really love it.
I don't know if you guys have that show. It's called Doomsday Preppers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We get that from America.
Are we still
Oh,
online
of course
now?
I don't know.
Not on
Where's their
YouTube
graphite on the-
anyway. OBS is
Well,
trying.
those guys are just having a fucking ball with the freaking Chernobyl.
Oh,
Mar-
yeah,
Marcus-
we're back. We're back on YouTube. Oh, I'm not. No. That must be the beginning because I'm not there.
Hang on,
I think it's all fucked up.
No, it's shit the bed at 2 hours.
Okay.
Is that the new limit now?
No,
Maybe.
it shouldn't be.
What do you want to do, Michael?
I'm up for whatever you guys want to do. It seems like OBS has
go
managed to
back.
reconnect and it's going again, so...
Okay.
Chat is disabled for live stream, so none of y'all can have some input.
But are we live?
I don't think so. No, what I'm looking at is like
Hold
first
on.
18 seconds in.
We should be live again if you just refresh the page.
Refreshing. F5 for fuck it.
No, I've refreshed. It's gone back to the beginning of the video. Oh! No, it's just gone back to the beginning. We're doing 3 days.
It stops after 2 hours and 0003.
Oh,
Yeah, it dies.
On my end, we're back again.
Oh, I'm
so-
live. Are we back?
Yeah, seems like it.
Fuck, hold on. Something
Yeah.
took me to some ad page.
Oh, that
now.
is the
God.
BeoSound 2. Fuck, I hate that music player. It's stupid. Why make a product? It's the same. The Serene mobile telephone.
Which was a great device.
Yeah, if you didn't have an iPhone.
Yeah, but that came out before iPhone was even a word, dude.
Oh, I had an iPhone at that time as well.
Then you didn't have the Serene early enough.
I just maybe not.
I had to go back to iPhone recently. It's that I made the stupid mistake. I spilt milk on my beautiful Android phone.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, well, it's fucked now. That's it. Oh, shit.
I'm going back to iPhone in a few days, a month. I've tried Android for. See, can you see John and Mickey there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi guys. I've tried the Note 9 for 9 months, maybe 10 months, and I think I'm gonna switch back to iPhones. Yeah.
I've never owned an iPhone. I'm quite considering it now because my fucking 90s don't change the color in the app on the Android, so...
Go iPhone.
Just write to Christian. Christian will change the color.
Yeah, but
The only thing that I would say about the iPhone
I mean,
and
he generally
Android...
has fuck all to do at work anyway, so...
Christian, could you change Willie's 90s to the color douchebag yellow?
Douchebag yellow. You can't change shit
I
because I
would
have an
literally-
old Lumicon
I would literally mobile
for
pay
that.
you some money.
with Bitcoins.
Oh, I don't have any more Bitcoins.
I'll
I
give you
sold
half
them
my
all.
bottle of rum if you do that.
Oh, it will
Fuck.
be so nice.
I'd be pissed as fuck, man. Then I'd definitely be getting a goddamn iPhone so I can change it back.
I couldn't do it. The only spare I had was some iPhone something 6, whatever. Don't give a shit.
Too old.
God knows what it was, but it just didn't have one redeeming feature. It was all the things I hate about Apple and a few more. Since I used to have iPhone. I used to have back when it was 3 and 3GS and 4 and 4S and all that. I think I gave up after 4S and went to Android when Android started getting quite good. And oh god, it's so restricted. And fucking iTunes, this is an abomination, and I couldn't deal with it.
Why
So
would
now
you use
I'm back
iTunes?
on the Android. Yeah, I'm back on my Android. It's got milk in it. I'll keep it till it dies. It's going all right for now.
Smells a bit cheesy now.
It can stink. It's still better than a fucking iPhone.
Other
It's
than
a new
the
operating
backup,
system,
why
the
would you
blue-
use iTunes? I've only ever used it for a backup.
Yeah, to be fair, I was being a bit harsh. I didn't use it this time. I remember the experience of iTunes before, when you used to have to use it to sync. You know, it's like you plug an Android in, you can drag and drop. I want a picture that I took, drag and drop, boop, and it's straight there. Music files, whatever you want, just drag and drop. You can use it as a storage device. With Apple, it's no, you've got to sync it with iTunes, and it's copyright, and it's this and that, and it's 20 minutes to sync the bastard thing. And it just makes me want to destroy the fucking universe. God, I hate Apple.
The only difference that I would say that is beneficial to the iPhones versus the Androids, in case of an utter medical life fucking emergency, if you have an iPhone, your life would be saved. With Android, if they unlock the phone, they don't know what the fuck they're looking at because all the icons are different or the layouts are different. It's way more communist red and with the hammer and sickle chiseled properly out in the iPhones. Like, you know that, oh, that's my telephone, right?
Yeah,
goofy as green thing.
I like that because Apple is everybody's is the same. You can show me an iPhone 10 or an iPhone 3. I don't know. You could tell me that any of them is the latest one. They all look the same to me. Whereas Android, I can have whatever layout I want. I can have a nice, neat home screen with my perfectly aligned apps and the wallpaper.
And you can have the weather, and you can have whatever.
I can have my little widget, and I can have my notifications.
Your calendar, whatever.
Everything is exactly where I want it, and it's boop, and I click it, and things just work.
But when you click whoop, it will just glitch, and then it will come up. That's the difference. Because when you do it,
viruses work on Android.
When you do it on an iPhone, because when I use the keyboard screen, it will just like click, 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 and then it will start. Then it will stop doing the force feedback, and then it will just come back, and then it will work again.
Depends which phone you've got. Android is the future, man.
No,
and I've never had this viruses on Android. I've used that Android for years now, and I think the only time you get sort of viruses if you're downloading dodgy apps from unknown sources other than the Play Store, and you have to consciously set that as an option in the settings to allow download.
Only install apps with Chinese letters.
Fuck.
That'll work.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Speaking of Chinese, I did accidentally switch my Serene ones to Chinese language.
Nice.
Good luck.
That's adventure, isn't it?
Fucking hell. Yes, it is, because you got to go by muscle memory. Okay, which button? Because you could still do it by digits. 1, 9, whatever. 9 was the menu, and then you go language. I forget which one it was. 7, I think.
But that was a good weekend.
I did it in my middle of the fucking workday in the office.
Good thing it wasn't voice control back then.
No, that phone was great for just the side boob shots at the bar. Because the camera was on the side of it. It was great.
It was.
You can be fucking way more discreet with taking a photo.
Again.
There you go. You need to glue that shit on your paper towel dispenser.
I mean, it's quite a small. I'm running out of paper towel on this roll. Oh no!
It went again. As long as it doesn't go in the bourbon, because then you're gonna have an abrupt end to the fucking podcast. Oh shit! So we're gonna know when John's low on paper towels because he keeps dropping off.
This is the same production that goes into YouTube.
This is a paper towel tripod you can buy on Amazon.
Yeah. It's expensive. This.
Holy shit. So, note to self, check for paper towels.
You actually managed to send me an...
You sent me a picture, John.
Yeah, me too, by doing this.
That's a nice picture.
Everybody.
If you put that picture on and...
Jesus, John. What the fuck, mate?
He's falling apart over there.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm setting fire to the podcast. Oh, there you go. There you can see on my other cam. There you go. There's my card.
Oh, you're on a budget, brother. There's fucking... There's a can, but look at how skimpy the paper towel roll is now.
So...
I want to prop it up with that bourbon bottle or whiskey bottle. Fuck.
Come on. Here we go. Right, come on.
The picture John he just did a snapshot for us. If you look at John and actually think about Quagmire from the Family Guy, we got a 1-to-1 situation. I'm just saying.
All you guys go away if I open it via Skype. So Henrik, maybe send it to me.
I can send it to you. It is so much Quagmire.
Quagmire. You know.
Okay, hang on.
Giggity.
Yeah,
Giggity goo.
exactly. It's so amazing. Hang on.
I'm sorry for setting fire to your podcast, Michael.
That's all right. I took that risk when I let you on.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And Mike, you will have it now.
I gotta say though, the picture that is on right now, I don't like how every dealer shows the 90s with one uncovered.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. Put the covers on.
Yeah, put the
Either take them both off or put one on. Like, what the fuck is this Popeye freaking one eye patch bullshit? Like,
I agree.
I do not like that.
No.
And at the end of the day, you still can't see those drivers move because that's mid-range and tweeters.
And nobody will have them.
No.
Nobody will have the cover off.
No. Either have them completely undressed or just have them dressed because that's how they look. That's how they're designed.
The experience.
Yeah, they'll design it's like the Beoplay 18s. I was reading about those, and they calibrate the sound with the lamellas on. So they're meant to have them on. So are the 90s, so are the 50s, because that's how they're designed. If you want to show the drivers off, you have to put them off. But
let's see it.
Giggity.
Is it coming? I don't see shit.
get the screen back.
That's amazing.
I'm still not seeing it, guys. Am I on the fucking, like, I should be live.
Do you see the similarities?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Giggity.
Willie, the link is in the YouTube chat if you're on the wrong one.
I'm probably in the wrong one.
You probably exited out and just refreshed the old sort of stream.
Willie is watching some poor little schoolgirl making a pizza.
That's right. Making macaroni and cheese, which is fucking disinvented.
That's why you seem absent sometimes.
I see
You're watching totally unrelated stuff.
That's right. I'm watching Russian dash cams on the other screen here.
That's pretty funny too, though.
Fucking rights, man. Yobani vrod.
I watched this one guy. He was sitting on a stroller that you use for shopping malls. So he was watching.
Oh, in the middle of the intersection or in the middle of the highway, he's fucking spinning around
with a bottle of whiskey and having fun.
That was vodka, man. But I'm sure that he was not like fucking. Not everybody was home upstairs for that. No. That was fully vacant lot. Oh fuck!
Quagmire?
I got the Quagmire picture now. Yeah, it totally is. The chin out. Fucking A.
Besides it, so we can see the difference.
Mickey doesn't know how to spell Quagmire.
Yes, I do. Get there.
He's battling autocorrect on his keyboard.
Yeah, the new word upgrade.
That's the death of every language is the fucking autocorrect now. I wonder how many relationships are lost a day per fucking autocorrects misinterpreting words.
There he is. Sure. Wow. Yeah.
Oh god. The kissing scene with Peter is the greatest when they're trying to get rid of the hooker that he married. Oh my goodness gracious, you guys gotta watch that.
Yeah, it is.
But my favorite out of all the Family Guy is the Chinese lane change. I don't know if you've ever, look up on YouTube, Family Guy Chinese lane change, and it's this Asian woman. Peter swears that he's gonna be untouched as a blinker stick on on an Asian woman's car, and then it's just shows this Asian lady driving on an 8-lane highway, and she's like, "When is a good time for me to signal to turn to switch lanes or whatever she says?" And she just, "I go now," and it just fucking. She cuts across all 8 lanes, and it's like a tanker that fucking, just jackknives and explodes, and a whole bunch of cars just blow up, and all. It's exactly what happens.
I always liked the Star Trek one when Stewie gets Patrick Stewart and Brent Spiner and all them and takes them bowling and stuff. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
that show is just
they're so annoying in that episode.
But that show is just freaking goldmine, I swear.
Oh, look at that there. He's even got his glasses on like me.
There you go. Giggity, giggity. Giggity goo. Oh, that's too funny.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Speaking of Family Guy, if you actually do watch the episodes like on Netflix and whatever, like they do use a full a full orchestra for the music and everything else. So
yeah,
the sound staging is
amazing.
Absolutely crazy on the 90s, and like it is absolutely crazy how that shit works.
Amazing.
Yeah, they went all out. It's not just some baloney pony, but it really is. It's like the sound from that show is fucked up.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's really good. It's
Speaking of an actual Family Guy, you know why you were spared today, John?
Why?
Because your dad is redoing the lounge.
Yes.
So they didn't have time to sit and go through the photo albums.
Yes, yeah, he did say, Michael's texting me, and then immediately was like, oh no. Michael said, what's Michael want? Oh, he's just asking if I got any more stuff. And what did you say? So, well, I've today, have I? So, that's all right then.
Come on then.
I kept him occupied with food. And
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old parents' ammunition.
I'll just sort of, I don't know, become a stalker, and I'll keep reminding them every few days.
just trinkle some more in. Fucking hell. But yeah,
Good
I
stuff.
like it.
We should get the kids on iMessage and just tell them when Daddy's asleep, just dress him up.
I could ask Kim.
Don't ask him. She'll have something that I haven't even remembered, and there'll be something horrific, I'm sure.
She's got her own nuclear stash.
Yeah, she has got a nuclear stash, I'm sure.
When's your birthday? We can do a birthday episode.
28th of November, so a while off yet.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll get through to
Time
Kim.
to prepare. She's got lots of time to prepare. Mine is in 21st
Her
of
phone
December,
is probably
so...
full with a bunch of weird stuff about you.
Oh, we don't want that.
We don't, but our viewers do.
Not the weird stuff.
Just makeup.
Photos of John going dogging and stuff.
Doggy John.
Doggy.
So welcome to BeoTalk number 99.
65.1.
Be Doggy John.
Bang and Olufsen podcast.
This is the outros at this point. For God's sake, these are out there outros. For God's sake.
Dogging.
Well,
Doggy
that's
John.
the quintessential British thing to do, isn't it?
I'll do it. Yeah. Spot dogging at the weekend. It's fine.
I mean, it seems to happen more up north as well, so...
Oh yeah, there's your kittens.
Somebody's not happy.
Oh no, he is. He's... I don't know what he wants. He generally either wants to play, food, or like, I'm here. It's just a sort of announcement.
Like my
Status update.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dink.
I'm here.
Shit.
I'm hungry. Yeah.
Well, I think they just ate, so they can't be hungry. They literally ate
Nope.
like 15 minutes ago. I mean, the one that doesn't make sounds is always hungry, but...
Is this it?
What is it?
I'm done. I only get paid by 2 hours. I've been here for 2.5 hours now.
I
Yeah,
don't get paid
25
anything, so I wonder who
have
pays
a-
you.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's a celebrity now.
Or do we have a new subject?
I had one when YouTube crapped, and now I'm blanking. So no,
Do we have a subject?
not really. No,
Come on.
John,
I have a subject.
go for it.
Okay. On the BeoVision whatever, you have the integration menu, and you have the where you can pair it up with the different kind of different sound systems.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I know. It's your product integration.
Product integration. What do you guys use it for?
My first one is Moment, and the second one is a converter, which is the 9000.
So what do you use it for?
What do you mean? That's what I just fucking told you. First one, I have my Avant fully integrated set up to the Moment, so that's not used with the speakers. And then as a secondary one, I have the converter, which is the only thing that it provides is a CD source from the 9000, because the radio would conflict with the tune-in that is on the Moment. So I use that that way. Now, the funny behavior with that is, if I join the bedroom, which is BeoSound shape, the speaker group defaults to TV only in my in the Avant.
Exactly. So if you have the speaker group called stereo and you only have your two 90s playing, then it will change back to the Avant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll default back to the first, which is the TV group. That's what it'll default to. It's a little bit annoying, but I kind of appreciate it in the times when I don't have to have the 90s come on for 30 minutes when I'm just getting ready for work. Because I don't find them. It's like starting a Ferrari for fucking 5 minutes. Like, what's the point? You might as well just not do that. So I do it through the TV only, and then that just comes on with the whatever spoken word radio. I could give two shits about having them sitting directly in front of me. It's news. They're never good anyways. So, but yeah, I do use it quite a bit. And all of my rest of the equipment here is linked in connect to primary, which is the Moment, and secondary, which is the 9000 on the converter on each product. It works.
And you,
well.
Michael?
I don't use it at all. Literally for nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what do you have that you would link it? I guess you get the M3.
I'm just asking because
No, I'm asking Mikey what he would use it for, because you don't really have anything to really like. You don't have an audio master.
I have a 9000, but I'm not going to link it that way. It's just going to go SPDIF to optical and then going to loop through to the speaker, so it'll do its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you need a link for the speakers to control the IR.
I was just thinking because I was thinking about. I have a core in my office, and maybe I was just messing around to take the core's thing into the living room. But I mean, there is a core in the Eclipse, so
the core doesn't support integrated setup anyways.
It works with the.
It'll join in, but you can't set it up in the same way. You can't tell it the primary and secondary product to connect to.
Sure.
It'll just if I have a Moment playing and I just hit join, well, it's a Lutron keypad, but it's basically the Lutron keypad tells the gateway to press the join button on the Beo Remote 1 for the
You can take the core and integrate it with the Eclipse. I did that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
You put it into the Eclipse and you can use it, but I don't know. I tried it just to figure it, just fizzling around, but I didn't know what I'm going to use it for.
Doesn't an Eclipse more or less already have all the running gear of a core in it?
To you, John?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, the Eclipse has everything that the core has, but I was just fucking around.
Jesus, John.
Dick.
We're going to have to glue a whole roll of paper towels together so you can't take them apart. With
Maybe
a little
you should take
divot for your phone.
the little handle thing from your car off the windscreen and just stick it on your table.
Yeah, I'll do something like that next time. It's professional.
We try.
See, but there's Christian too. Like, he's using it with the Beogram and the Essence without speakers. So I do like that interface of it, and I know that it's more or less grandfathered now for people that that use that particular system that are from the Masterlink years. But anybody new that comes to the B&O that had no prior experience with Masterlink system and the sound distribution and control of such, but it was before, they could give 2 shits and a half less about if there is a product integration or not, because you can Chromecast into whatever, and that's the way that they're used to it anyways now, I think, like the newer populace.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you agree? Like, that's just...
Wait,
you're also an example of it, because you have everything running through the Chromecast in all of your shapes and
only audio.
Of course, but still, like, it's not utilizing the BeoLink proprietary protocol, right?
I hate the BeoLink app.
I don't mind it. You know what?
okay.
They've taken leaps from the beginning of it, which I'm sure, John, you remember when it first started off. It was just like, wow, like, am I gonna have enough hair grow back to pull it the fuck out again? That's what that was. But
that was all B&O software, though, to be fair.
Oh yeah, well, like, you know, even the Beo remote app that came out for the BV11s and V1s back then, when you could, like, that rudimentary control, like, oh my fucking god, guys, really, like, who actually maintains and utilizes that? And even now that I look at it, like, I don't even, like, everything, I'm so built in with the macros as well, that I don't really care for having the home integration menu on the Avant to go in, like, other than when you want to fuck around with the Philips Hues. But then if you want to do that, then you might as well just tell the Google thing to change the colors of all of them, right?
So that set that up and it's not been used at all on the TV.
It doesn't make sense. Like, there's every now and then when, you know, like, I walk by the closet on the way to the bathroom and the closet's open, so the sensor picks me up and it turns on that light for 5 minutes. Then I pull up the thing and I'm like, okay, shut this off so I can keep watching the TV. But in the same token, I can just tell the freaking Google to just put on TV lights and it'll kill everything around the house anyways, right? So I don't really have a use for that. And I understand that the BeoLink gateway per se is not the fastest when it comes to tying in the web cameras into the streams and everything else. That the BeoLiving integration is much better in that regard. But I don't really have a need for that. And quite honestly, all of my clients that do have surveillance systems or equipment in the house, it's recorded to their own separate NAS.
Yeah.
And they don't really give a fuck about, you know, I'm not going to turn on the TV to look at the thing. I'm going to look at my phone, pull up the app in an instance without, you know, waiting for the BV11 to you know, gracefully swing out from the wall and open the curtain so I can get into the menu. By then, I'm fucking raw, right? So,
or they're in, yeah.
Or they're in. So for me, it's just, like, you know,
you
people
have to
just
fend
look
them
and
off, like.
Oh yeah, with the Beo Remote 1, you're just gonna cut a bitch, but with the Beo 4, you can really hurt somebody. So yeah, I don't really utilize the gateway in the way that you have the video, like that IP camera thing. Like, I understand, like and that's a great point to what you've done with it, Henrik, that you've tied in IP cameras from the traffic reports.
Oh, it works great. I love it.
Yeah, if you're watching news, you can actually put up the home integration menu and it pulls up the cameras that you know, directly affect your livelihood. That's basically it.
I mean, it's I've actually taken. Last time I have a car that is really sucky in traffic because the clutch is really, really heavy. So I was
your Nissan, your Skyline.
Yeah, so I was sitting on the TV and I was about to leave. So I watched the traffic cam to see how is the traffic out of the city. And it was just like, oh, it's light right now. So I went down to the garage, get the car and drove off. But then I was about to do it the same today. And I looked at the TV and it was just like, fuck that. I'm not going to go anywhere. So, yeah, it works really good.
Yeah, but for the home security, like, yeah, they're cool, but it's only a live stream anyway. So you can't really rewind and go back to see activity prior to what was going on if something was going on. It doesn't have, you know, like if you go to the NVR.
No, it's only live.
Yeah. So I do like that idea of utilizing it. But yeah, for me, the utility of that home control or home integration side menu that comes out, it's just completely died off and went by the wayside. Like, it was cool to show in the store because you can actually show people in real life. Okay, I click this, and the slider goes down, and the Lutron button or the Lutron lights will dim down per se. But I didn't in how I live with it all. It's few macros really. That's it. And then there's a whole bunch that you have as far as voice commands because of the IFTTT, which is it works so well.
I mean,
it works so.
I use the Beolink gateway for when I leave my apartment. I press the leaving home button on my Philips Hue remote, which I did.
Tied in, yeah.
Yeah. When I come home, I press the audio button, so it plays audio in all the house. Then I use the cinema button, which is making sure that there is some kind of some kind of lighting in the room where I watch TV, and some kind of lighting in the kitchen area. Then I have the going to bed, which dims down everything but turns on specific lights everywhere. Turn on the TV in the living room, on Netflix and whatever. And that's the only thing I use the gateway for. But it is amazing.
But that's what it's supposed to be used for. Like,
have you tried the new one yet, Henrik?
No. Willie told me that I would pull my hair out of my skull, so I thought...
No, that was on the old one. The new one is apparently it's much faster when it comes to the integration like IP cameras. But
I looked at it, but I didn't agree with price. And I hate the thing with the IFTTT that you have to pay for everything.
The chemo.
Yeah,
but the chemo you don't have to pay for in the new gateway.
I don't pay for shit. Huh?
You don't have to pay for the new subscription. Like the new gateway has a chemo subscription built in, correct?
Yeah, but I have a Beolink gateway.
Because I have the.
But I still don't pay
Christian
for it.
asked, how did you integrate the Hue remote with the Beolink gateway?
I had to put the new software on the Beolink gateway, and then it actually kind of just added itself kind of automatic. It was pretty easy. But then you can write some
Did you
code.
go through capture commands, or did you have to write the codes?
Some of the codes I wrote myself. The codes for the dimmer switch was capturing, and I did it as this light over here.
Mm-hmm.
That one right there.
With the booty picture, I like it.
That is a Hue Bloom.
Yeah.
So I told it that if it was on 20%, it needs to do this. 10%, it needs to do this. 5%, it needs to do this. 15%, it needs to do this. And then I never use these specific kind of numbers on my scenes. So it knew that if it was on 10%, it needs to turn on the music. If it was on 15%, turn on the music and turn on the lights.
Oh, so you do it by the status update.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things that I really like about the gateway also is the status update for that I use for my LED buttons and music button for the keypads in the Lutron. So I have a status update as soon as the BeoSound 5 is playing, my music button is lit up on the foyer. So I know that the music is playing, right? Because when you press the music, then I just like to see that little fucking green light showing that it's doing something, right? And same thing for the LEDs on my kitchen. When you press LED, it'll turn on all the hue lights, but it'll also look at the status every time, or however often it does it, to make sure that if the LEDs are turned on, it'll keep that LED status light on. As soon as I kill them, it'll turn it back off. So yeah, I like that there is actually a way to do that visual feedback to a different species of technology through the gateway, that you can tell it that, okay, well, this is what it's going on.
But I mean, the gateway is an amazing kind of kit. I mean, you can do everything with the gateway. I mean, I got it to work with my Wemo switches.
Yeah. The only thing that I wish that was a written driver for, and I know that not you, Henrik, but there's a Henrik also here in Chicago office that used to work with B&O, and that was the one that Henrik Thorpe Nielsen, that actually developed the gateway from the scratch back in yesteryears of gateway, essentially.
10 years ago.
Or Masterlink gateway. Yeah, well, that's 2007-8 we're talking about when the Masterlink gateway was introduced. He did make a driver for the Schlage locks. So you can get the whatever Schlage, the fucking, I don't know, here I'll type it for you in a
door handles
chat.
with locks.
Yeah.
John, be quiet.
You got a fucking haunted house going on in there. Jesus Christ. So if you look at the chat, that's the Schlage. It's a German brand for the door locks, and they are wireless. So they are all Z-Wave or Z-Wave. So I bought the little kit and whatever, but I cannot figure out. And I have the email from Henrik back in the day. How do you write the drivers in order to make this work with the fucking gateway? Can't do it. And I would love to have that. So when you press goodbye, it unlocks the fucking door because you're leaving. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It's not like it's an absolute first world problem because I have to crank the fucking deadbolt. I just want to press, like, I want to tell this Google thing, like, you know, turn off the apartment, and the cats are fucking tripping. I love it.
So weird.
But no, like, I just want the thing to just, like, if you say, hey, I'm leaving, then it turns off the whole apartment and unlocks the door because you are going out of there, right? And with the Schlage lock that I have now, it'll automatically lock itself back after 4 minutes. That's the biggest time span that you can set it for it to lock itself, because 30 seconds is just too little. So
I don't have all these issues. I'm so happy.
I have that issue, and it has been an issue for 2 years now, and I really would love to figure that out because I want to have my locks to be automated. That's the last thing I want to have automated in this apartment. So you can just sit there and press.
Like, get one of those separate automated. With, like, put a chip in your, like, hand somewhere, where as soon as you do it, it unlocks it.
Oh, we already have that in Denmark. We have it in our right hand right here. Mm-hmm. But then it didn't work, so we did a workaround and we got it in the left hand as well.
The beer cap from fucking Kronensberg or whatever. No, I that's one thing that I would want to get done. It would be the last thing that I would need really get done, unless
I'm actually into the magnetic things right now on windows and doors and stuff. Trying to get that work.
Oh, the contact locks, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's really no limitation if you can write in Lua.
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it ties in with a lot of shit. That's what I like about it.
And I mean,
is your house clever, John?
Not in that way. No, I've got some automated lights. I've got Google Chromecast everywhere, but I haven't gone down the. I do kind of fancy the Google
Mini.
Is it the Nest Cam?
Yeah.
For the front door. Maybe I might invest in something like that. But as far as locks, I prefer the old analog. It's a key in a lock. I know it's locked. It's done. There. Yeah, I don't know. I've got an August. Is it an August?
They
lock?
got a bit of a ding on their reputation because people were kind of spying on other people via the Nest cams.
Yeah.
As in, like, people at the company saw, like, a hot delivery girl and they checked where she went and stuff like that.
Oh, Jesus.
For every lawsuit, there's a creep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm at the moment I'm happy with the few lights and the Chromecast, but the locks I'm not too fussed about. We had an August lock at the shop which I was trying to integrate with the gateway for a while, but never could crack it. So I sort of gave up on it. It's there dormant. Yeah, not a big fan.
I like the locks for one simple reason, especially with the new, like, 'cause you buy I forget the little device. It looks just like a little Airport Express thing that Schlage makes. You can pair up to 2 locks to it, and you can do, I think, up to 30 different codes per each lock. So it tells you can allocate codes for your different family members, or if you have housekeepers or service people, whatever, especially in the apartment.
Do you have any of those?
You know what? I don't, because I always stay in the house when there is stuff done in the apartment, because there is biannual filter changes and all this other shit that happens.
The tear in the 90s was there already when I came in.
Oh yeah, man. No, that's why I don't, because I'd be hanging motherfuckers off a garden hose and my freaking railing in the balcony, because there's no way. That's why I always stay in here. There's never been an access to this apartment without my presence. Period.
I'm a bit like that, yeah. Yeah, I'm the same.
I have too much money put in here that I would have somebody just come in here. Oh, what are these? I'm like, yeah, dude, you just had fucking greasy chicken, whatever the fuck, on your fingers, and now you're gonna graze the Lab 90 sales with that. Fuck off. No, I don't let people come in here just on a whim.
One of those proper Taco Bell stains.
Oh yeah, that's right. Get some hot sauce on this shit. Yeah. So yeah, I don't allow people to come in here. I thought about having like a couple IP cameras in the apartment, but I don't really see a need for it. And if people are gonna go for it, then just throw your breakers out there, John.
Yeah, pop the lights on.
All of a sudden, your wife comes up with a candle in her hand, in a nightgown. What's going on here?
Apparently, we bought some chives today, and the cats love them, so they're trying to get into the plant of chives. So it's like, what am I hearing? And it's like they're getting at the plastic to get to the chives.
Oh, they're having fun.
Chives are good for you. Yeah. But yeah, I think the Gateway is one of the most undersold products from B&O.
Yeah.
And underexplained and under-advertised and underappreciated. All in all.
What product?
Gateway.
Yeah. It's like the Shape.
Yeah.
Shape is definitely one of them that...
well, the 90s can compete for the...
It just went under the radar.
The 90s can sort of compete for that. Like, they don't get that much love from the marketing department.
I mean, the Shape is the product that, they should just fucking spit that shit all over the place.
Yeah, Shape's wonderful.
Shape is wonderful. 90s are not for everyone, and it's just
for everyone. The 90s
are not.
It's like for a specific person with an Eames chair in Canada somewhere.
You gotta be proper crazy for these.
But the Shape is just for fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're limited by the imagination, and more or less you're not limited by the scalability, because if you can afford a smaller Shape at the beginning, per se, there's nowhere written that, oh, sorry, sir, you can't add anymore. No, you just need another amp, and then you get another 4 fucking speakers in there, and you more or less, not that you doubled, but acoustically, I would say you almost quadrupled the acoustic performance of that piece.
Yeah.
Period. Like, I have 4... I don't even know what this sounds like in 2, because I never wasted my time. I figured if I'm going to go with the Shape and I'm going to go with one amplifier tile, I'm going to max out the speaker output on it.
Yeah.
So I go with the 4, and for the bedroom stereo, holy fuck, like that is way more than you'll ever have your news be screaming at you in the volumes that you need.
Really?
Or it's a great system. The problem that I have with it is the fact that our walls are built out of fucking paper mache, so the micro vibrations started to loosen the screws in the drywall, including the anchors that I've used, where the speaker tiles are, only. And that becomes more and more apparent when that's right. And that becomes more and more apparent when I play in the 90s at the loud volume, and then I just every now and then occasionally just walk into the other room, holy fuck, the cat is like just howling at the moon.
Yes.
Should blame some fucking, what's it called? The Stutters guy, Ozzy Osbourne.
Maybe you should get some of these vocal speakers for your bedroom. The ones that
dude, I will never own anything other than B&O. It's been like that for a few decades now, and there's
those speakers actually.
And then the nice thing about that is that if you own B&O for, I don't know, however many years, decades that it has been, it all ties into one another still.
Yeah. Oh, that
visually, design-wise.
Soft spot for Wilson Audio because they're so ugly. They're kind of beautiful. I don't know. It's just something about Wilson Audio speakers that I really quite like.
It's like the NAD amps from the yesteryears with those big fucking, Pontiac Grand Am switches on it and shit, and just like, but it sounded so good back then, and it was a purpose-built machine.
2 weeks ago, I showed you these, and we came to the conclusion that the 90s were cheap and light.
Yeah.
Because these things are 265 kilos each.
Jesus.
They got a dead engineer inside the fucking thing?
They're 2 meters too tall.
What?
Yeah, so they're nearly 7 feet tall.
Christ.
That's too much, man.
And that's without amps and all that crap.
Yeah, you've got all the amps, all the cables, and then some kind of room treatment to calm them down.
Apparently, depending on color, they start at 200 grand. So even the 90s are cheap.
90s are fuck all comparing to that now.
Yeah.
Because that is at least a $300,000-$400,000 system. If because you gotta get the cables blessed in fucking Vatican too, I'm sure.
Probably.
For this.
You get to have these $50,000 cables.
Yeah, exactly. I remember reading when I was growing up, getting into hi-fi, reading What Hi-Fi magazine all the time, looking through all the reviews and seeing reviews. So I think it was Living Voice Air Scout, and they were some crazy amount of money. Just for the speakers, no cables, no amps, no source equipment, and thinking, how does somebody spend that much money on speakers? And that was my first sort of taste into Jesus, hi-fi can be really expensive.
Yeah, I guess it's no different than cars and stuff. The more unique and handmade you go, the more expensive it gets.
Yeah.
I could not bring myself, like, being around B&O for as long as I've been around B&O, I would have a suffering succotash going to a third-party system to look at fucking amps, receivers, and just unappealing speakers, and then the mess of wire that you would have to contend with somehow, and fucking monoblocks and blah blah blah, and then
you can't put the wires in the shroud because then they touch each other, and think of the static that may occur.
There's right. There is a lot.
I don't want any gay cables. I want them all hetero, metrosexual. They can touch one another. They can intertwine and shit. Because they're properly condomized or shielded, I guess you could call it.
Condomized.
You need that rubber layer.
Yeah.
That's right. I don't want no crosstalk and a 50 hertz buzz, god damn it. Like, that's just, and I don't want to be the guy that, goes to see a psychiatrist every fucking 2 weeks because my cable fell off the paper cups that was preventing the fucking static from the carpet to get into my sound.
There's a lot of drivel. There is a lot of bullshit with it. It's
it has to be.
It's psychoacoustics, a lot of it. But I have heard systems like, I remember hearing a guy I used to work with it was musical fidelity pre and monoblocks for the amps, and he had some Kef reference 2s, I think they were. It was a good while ago, but they sounded absolutely fantastic, but still not as good as 50s. When I hear 50s now, I think it's just not as good, but they did sound. I love all that separate stuff. I still like all that separate stuff, but
I can't wait for Henrik to wire his up because the sound is so much better wired.
No, it's gonna click.
That'd be fucking hilarious if that happened. But no, I agree. It's I also like the consistency in the sound that B&O has throughout the years.
There's B&O sound.
You
know what to expect, and it's going to be better. Like, when I first went to Struer and to hear the 90s.
Right now, the 50s right now with Weiser sounds amazing.
And they sound even better wired.
Fucking wired, man. Shit.
I'm just saying.
There's a huge difference.
With Weiser sounds better than the 5s.
Wired.
Well, you can't get
Well,
them.
you can't have them wireless. If they're wireless, they ain't gonna be playing shit.
But I think you can probably test it with a fairly bassy track. But right now, most likely, your woofers aren't moving independently. They just do whatever is requested.
Yes.
They do cancel one another where they need to be canceled off
When they're
you
wired,
actually
yeah.
Yeah, not now. Now they're just playing. And
They're
they
dumb
play
speakers
fun.
at this point. I don't doubt that the compensation, because I've heard the 90s and I still have the default factory narrow mode just to throw myself back to what it actually sounds like as far as the 5-room average compensation would be that they have done versus what the 1-room compensation is that the speaker had done for itself. And there's quite a bit of difference in the high and definitely in the low end where how the precision of the bass and the location of it where you are sitting actually is oriented to. It makes a huge, huge difference. And then I wired the fuckers in. And it was almost as eye-opener now, in retrospect, as getting the Deezer Hi-Fi versus the regular Deezer on the 90s. It's absolutely unreal.
Will you be easier going than Willie Henrik? Because I had to speak to Willie for like 6 weeks or so for him to wire his 90s up.
I was like, no, fuck off, bollocks on you.
What the fuck?
No, it does work very, very well.
Everything just changed here. Sorry. Yeah, I am gonna do it. Definitely. And I'm gonna do it pretty soon, hopefully. Because I need to see if there is any difference. And I will actually measure it as well. Because I don't fucking believe anybody.
That's
yeah,
right.
well, I didn't either, man. But yeah, once you sit down in front of it and you do give it a good listen, like I said, I burned 6 hours yesterday, just like I was listening to these speakers, not for the first time ever, but when you have that critical listening bass comparison to, okay, this is what my norm is now, because I've heard these songs in various states of mind, also sitting on the chair, versus now, holy fuck, like, this is the Ramesses B, Safe Haven. That song basically is what I bought the 90s for, or because of. And I bought the lossless track through the SoundCloud or whatever the fuck, wherever he publishes his music through, and I did pay the money, and I did buy it, and I did listen to it, and the Deezer never sounded exactly the same as the, your owned media and being pushed off of a USB stick. Till the Deezer lossless or the hi-fi, whatever the FLAC thing. It's 1-to-1 to me acoustically. It's 1-to-1. And I bought the FLAC file, so it should be, right? 1-to-1. But it's I was oodling and noodling for that 1 month. I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, am I throwing out $20 a month for nothing, really? Because I can see these are FLAC on or hi-fi. That's why when I asked you, John, you said that you guys had it with when you had the moment that it would actually show that it's playing the high fidelity files. But I'm like, well, fuck, it's not doing it. And then, like I said, yesterday I did the update on it just for the shits and giggles. I'm like, let's see if it's going to be dropping out again from the multi-room in the BeoLink. It works absolutely flawless and solid. So I think that there might have been another update that came out silently, but in between, and it just patched it into that. But the moment
there was an
works.
update after the sort of wireless dropout update.
Well, I have nothing wireless.
No, but you had the update where basically nothing worked anymore in your moment. There was an update after that.
It wasn't there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because there's no way they could have just fucked it up and left it, burning to the ground like that.
Again.
Like, here you go. Hey, say goodness. Good luck. Fuck. No, it works.
I'll use those as coasters, please. If you have any broken ones, I'll happily use them as coasters.
Yeah, let me have my moment to chop my fucking morning onions for the scrambled eggs on, for God's sake. Jesus Christ. It works. No, it works flawlessly now, and I'm happy that I did what I did. And the Deezer Hi-Fi, absolutely stunning in sound quality.
On that note, shall we call it a night because it's been 3 hours?
I would say so.
Like, subscribe, and all that jazz. All our stuff, including John's, just keeps on being in the description.
John's running out of paper towels. He must have wiped something out. Now his phone is slippery.
I'll have a full roll next time.
Oh, by the way, John, by your request partly, your mic will be muted with the outro.
That's a shame. I was looking forward to spoiling the outro.
I can leave it on if you like.
It's okay.
Break some wind, y'all.
Well, in any case, thanks for watching, everybody, and see you next week.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys. Jump. Henry. Wow.
74.
Well, that's only better, isn't it?
That's nice. There's not enough hair on it.